there's a part of me that wants to say that evil isn't an absolute, that people are in, like, and this is the problem, and I might, like, cry a little bit. I want so badly to believe that people are inherently good. Mm-hmm. But time and time again, the world that we live in makes it incredibly difficult to believe that. There are seasons. There are seasons of life, which I think this is a phase that a lot of white ladies go through. Like, if you've ever read a Philippa Gregory novel and, like, you just wanted to be an apothecary at some point in your life, paganism is for you.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
And this is where we get a lot of, like, white lady yoga teachers with crystals and aligning your chakras and just this, like, hodgepodge of esoteric beliefs. So I do subscribe to the primordial soup, which is essentially that all of this is a random happenstance, and I don't, like, it doesn't really bother me. Like, for someone who wants to know everything about everything, I weirdly don't care.
Which is fascinating to me.
And I think it's because I know that I won't ever know the answer, and so I don't care.
How can you be sure?
Like, there's no answer at the bottom, so I'm not going to go digging for it.
How do you know, though? Until you find it, or until you try to find it.
But I don't think a fetus is a person, and that's just, it's not just my opinion, it's also the opinion of science and medical professionals.
Which is interesting because a lot of even pro-choicers would say that science now, the new, what they're looking at shows it is like sperm to egg is a life.
Right.
It's not a baby.
Sure.
Is that kind of where you're going? Like,
but then there's also, like, is a sperm by itself alive?
No. Well, yes, it's alive, but it's not alive.
Right. So, like, how far back can we outlaw masturbation then?
You made it. You have arrived. You took the plunge. You gave in to the peer pressure and decided to listen to the podcast that the whole world is talking about. The Why Can't We Talk About That podcast. Good for you. In just a few minutes, you will find yourself immersed in a discussion that might just change your life. But first, do me a big favor and subscribe, like, comment, and tell all your friends about this show. After you have done that, send me an email at whycan'twetalkaboutThat@proton.me and tell me of your valiant deed. You might just get a, "Hey, thanks a lot," in response. Also send me an email and tell me what you thought of this episode. It would really make my day. Thank you so very much. My guest this week is Sarah Allred. Sarah works at Cal Poly and spends her free time reading, hiking, learning new things, and working on creative projects. She is currently obsessed with crocheting, listening to audiobooks about medieval history, and trying to get ready to run a 5K in the fall. And, luckily for all of you, she also had a great discussion with me about lots of really cool stuff. This is one of those episodes that was a long time coming. Quite a while back, like 2 years ago if I remember correctly, Sarah and I took a long drive together for work, which kind of forced the two of us to talk about stuff, because, as everyone knows, awkward silence totally sucks. By the end of our drive, I had realized that Sarah has lots of opinions and is a very good conversationalist. So obviously I'm thinking, hey, she might be a good person to have on the podcast. So I asked her, and she said, maybe. So then a few months later, I asked her about that maybe, and she said, sounds like fun, but things are too busy right now. So then, like a year later, I reached out to her again, and then she said, okay, fine, I'll do it, just leave me alone. Just kidding. She didn't say that. She said something along the lines of, you know what? Let's do it. And we did. And in just a few seconds, you'll get to listen to that discussion. Was it worth the wait? You decide. During our conversation, many different issues that had to do with feminism would pop up, but we didn't really explore many of them. So maybe, in the future, I might do another shorter bonus episode with Sarah that would be all about feminism stuff, because it would be fun to touch on some of those things as well. If you really liked today's episode and think it would be awesome if we did another one, send me an email and let me know. Okay, sorry. I'll quit yapping and get to the episode now. Enjoy the conversation. Which one do you get from Blenders?
I get the red pineapple.
Okay.
But I do...
I think I've ever heard of that one.
I do peach instead of bananas. So it's pineapple and...
Is that because you don't like bananas, or you just...
It's a text. I don't particularly
Okay.
care for bananas.
Is it because of texture? Because my wife is the exact same way.
It's a texture thing, and I eat bananas.
Yeah.
It's like my body will crave bananas, but I really don't enjoy eating them at all.
Interesting. Craving maybe because like you need potassium or something?
Yeah.
Or, okay. More of a health crave.
Especially like right now.
Okay.
I'm training to do a 5K in November.
Oh my gosh.
So like right now I'm eating bananas.
Yeah, I bet. That's gonna be your best friend for a while.
But when I'm not running,
then
I'm not eating.
Where are you doing the 5K?
It's the City to the Sea 5K up in Avila Beach.
Avila, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
What month? After the summer?
November.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have plenty of
hopefully
time.
it won't be too hot by then.
Yeah. I get out and I run really early.
Okay.
Like, I can't handle the heat at all.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I don't exercise by 7 a.m., I'm not exercising.
Done. Yeah. I can't handle the running, let alone what time it is.
So I was like not an athletic kid at all. And I mostly like exercise for my mental health.
Okay.
But I've turned into this adult who like teaches yoga classes and goes to exercise classes and apparently like runs 5Ks.
There you go.
So it's pretty weird for me still.
Okay.
But man, the endorphins are like
from the running.
Clutch.
It's like, right? Yeah. See, and I was an athletic kid. I grew up playing sports and doing all that, running and all that. I used to love it. And I don't know, at some point, I just got old. And I was like, my body doesn't do it anymore. I was running pretty regularly for a while until I got appendicitis, not from running, obviously, but it was around that time that I was running. And then after the recovery from that, I tried to run again, and then I blew out my knee. So then my knee was all jacked up for months, and then I just kind of haven't gone back to it. I probably should, but I just haven't, because I do enjoy it. Like, I would rather do like a sport where I'm getting exercise while I'm having a lot of fun at the same time.
Yeah.
But
that's what my running playlist is for.
Oh yeah.
To like keep
the momentum going.
I know people that are like, oh, you listen to music while you run?
Oh, I totally do.
I just, like, focus on my breathing.
Oh,
and I'm like,
no
what is
way.
wrong with you?
No way. Not
You're
me.
insane.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. No way. No, I got to put on some pump-up kind of something energetic or something,
There's just no way that's happening. Like, I'm stopping after a quarter of a mile.
Right, exactly. I would, too. It would get boring for me. And plus, when I did it, I would have, like, a certain playlist that was a certain length. And then I would know when I got towards the end of that that I had ran the same amount, and I would kind of increase it as I started to build up endurance. Yeah. But yeah, so funny. So the blue apple is what I always get at Blenders.
What's in that?
If I ever go to Blenders, I don't even know. I know it has seeds in it that get stuck in your teeth, which is why my wife won't drink it. And then she makes fun of me when I drink it, but I don't really care. I'm like, I like the flavor. I know there's apple in it, and I know there's blueberries in it. And that's the extent of what I know. So
do get all up in your teeth.
Yeah, but that's really the only one there I like, other than like the desserty ones, like the chocolate peanut butter one, and those kind of ones are good too. But
they have a chai one too.
Do they really? Is it any good?
I haven't tried it.
I'm a big time chai snob.
Because I always get the same thing.
Okay, yeah, my chai grade is from like Starbucks is the far worst because they just use like a syrup, and then Big Train is the best, and then for me there's a whole bunch that fall in the middle. Like there's a bakery in Solvang that has one that's very similar to Big Train. It's not Big Train, I've asked them, but it tastes very similar. It's a real creamy, kind of rich flavor to it. That's pretty good. And there's been other places. We were in Washington State one time. At least that's where we drove to. I don't remember if that's where this was. Might have been Oregon. But there was like a little drive-through coffee shop. My wife's a huge coffee. She loves it. I mean, as you can see, she's got coffee mugs all over the place. But and she's a big Disney fan. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but
I noticed that on the
like,
porch.
Yeah, oh, for sure. But like, I don't like coffee at all. Like, I think coffee's nasty. I can't even. But she loves it. So whenever we're somewhere, she'll stop and get
Our
coffee.
first disagreement.
Yeah. Hey, at least that's a disagreement that most of the country has with me. So, but yeah, we'll stop places, and we stopped at this little rinky-dink, like just drive through. Oh, she's like, oh, I want to get some coffee, and I don't usually get anything because there's really not much I like other than like a hot chocolate or something. But I always ask like, hey, what brand of chai do you guys have? And at this little tiny place out in the middle of nowhere, like in Oregon or somewhere, she goes, oh, we use Big Train. I was like, oh, yeah. It's like, let's do it. Yeah. So that was exciting. So we kind of put a pin in that little spot. Okay, if we ever drive through here again, we know where Ryan can get something to drink, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, very cool. Oh, this is what I wanted to ask you. This is the weirdest thing.
Okay.
And okay. Back in September, me and my wife were at the San Luis airport. Mm-hmm. And I swear, there was someone that looked just like you.
At the airport?
Yes.
Wasn't me.
I didn't think so. The only reason I didn't think it was you is because you didn't say hi or anything.
Presence. Yeah. No, I wouldn't.
But I swear, like it was so much so that I kept like doing double takes and I kept like trying to make eye contact to see and then when that girl made eye contact a few times, I was like, okay, if it was her, she would have said, hey, how's it going? But it looked, I even told my wife, I said, oh my gosh, it's so weird.
That is a trip.
And she doesn't know you, so she doesn't know what you look like. But
I live up there now.
in Slow?
I live in Oceano.
Oh, okay.
And
Nice.
I work in Slow. So it could have, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
I haven't been to the San Luis airport.
You got a doppelganger out
there.
there.
But if it was like around, there's some breweries around there that I like very occasionally.
That's where you would be, not the airport, the brewery.
But I haven't been to the airport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't me.
Yeah.
But I have a doppelganger. That's
you do.
Very exciting.
And who knows where she's from? Maybe she was just visiting San Luis and she's flying back to Alabama.
Maybe it was my freaking sister who was here and didn't tell me.
Do you have a sister?
I do.
Does she look a lot like you?
No, not really.
Okay. Okay.
You can see like the family resemblance.
Okay.
Like if we're standing next to each other and we're like, oh, we're sisters. People believe us.
Right. Right.
But I also she lives not here. Okay. So I don't get to see her super often. But I have a friend of mine who's here. And, like, we'll go out together. We'll go to the farmer's market. We'll go do stuff, you know? And people are constantly like, you guys must be sisters.
Oh, really?
You guys must be sisters.
Oh, funny.
And she's Italian, has a thick Italian accent.
Okay.
And we were sitting next to each other on a plane one time, and we were talking. So whoever was next to us could hear. She has a thick Italian accent, and I am clearly from California. Okay. And they're like, are you guys twins?
Oh, how funny.
And we were like, yeah, we're separated at birth.
Right, yes. One went to Italy and the other one stayed here in California. That's funny.
But yeah, my sister and I look like enough.
Are you Italian? What's your ethnicity?
I am so Irish.
Okay. Where's the red hair?
So I am like the tribal.
Okay.
The tribal Irish. I knew for a while that like I was at least half Irish because my mom's family is completely 100% Irish Catholic from Chicago.
Oh wow. Okay.
But my dad's from Arkansas. And so growing up, I had always been told like, oh, we have Native American blood. But we didn't know what the rest of it was. And like I have curly hair, so I was like maybe Italian, maybe like something Mediterranean. Yeah. And I did that 23andMe.
Oh, okay.
To find out because I was really curious, and I got it back, and it was like 96% Irish.
Oh, crazy!
And I was like, oh,
which means your dad is part Irish too.
White.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
How funny! My dad's family is from Arkansas also, and they also have some Native American. I think Cherokee, I believe, is the bloodline.
None. I have none Native, zero.
But see,
Native American blood.
I don't know if I trust those. I don't know if I trust those things.
That's fair.
It's just because I guess part of it is I don't really understand how it works. My mind doesn't go there, but it just seems like weird to me. So many people have stories like yours, where they're like, "Oh, I thought I was this my whole life because my mom or my dad or whatever, and then I did this thing, and it's like, lo and behold, I'm not."
Yeah. Well, and with my dad's side, like we couldn't really, they didn't know. They just knew like what their folks had told them. But my dad's an only child, and so there was no one else to ask. And his like my grandparents on his side are in decline, shall we say.
Okay.
So there was really like no other way for me to get that information. But I understand what you're saying. Also because like the first time I did it was 96% Irish.
Okay.
And then I went back and checked it like 2 years later, and it was like 80% Irish, and then the rest was, I still had that 4% that was like 1% Finnish, 1% African,
right.
all the weird bits.
Yeah.
But then the other like 16% was Welsh.
Okay.
So
what happened in between the two
So what
tests? Did you
happens-
stop eating potatoes? I mean, like, what happened?
what happens is they get more DNA profiles. More people submit their DNA, and the more connections that they're able to make, the more specific and like they're able to get more specific about the regions and stuff.
Okay.
So for my particular profile, it's all of like the tribal Welsh and the tribal Irish.
Interesting.
From the far west side of Ireland.
Okay.
So all of the tribal peoples before the Anglo-Saxons pushed them all the way over to that western edge. So I'm basically like a little Shetland pony.
Okay.
Like,
there you go. Nice.
I should be living on like the Rocky Moors and just in the chilly, misty environments.
Yeah.
That's what I'm built for.
Maybe you will
But I
someday.
ended up
Maybe you'll end up there.
in this
Even though
desert.
you just said you love living in California, but
I love living in California because of
it's got to be either weather or politics.
It's politics.
Gotcha.
And like especially as a woman, living in a state that provides me autonomy over my body is pretty important to me. There have been multiple times where I've been like, oh, I'm gonna move to a different state. Like, one, California's wildly expensive.
Right.
I was looking at master's programs for a little while, and I was looking at ones out of state, and I kind of like picked a couple that I would like, and then I had this realization of like, you can't go to like these states because what if something happens
Right.
and you don't have the rights that you're used to having over your body, like,
Right. Right.
and that was pretty wild.
So you're talking about
Sad
abortion,
moment.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Just to be clear.
Yeah.
I don't want to like assume, but I assume.
Like, what,
Yeah.
what if something happens?
Right.
What if somehow I get pregnant?
Right.
And like, I don't want to be.
Yeah. Well, there's no somehow. I mean, you'd probably know how it happened.
Well, I know how it happened, but what, like, what if it's against my will? What if I get assaulted?
Then that's a big fat problem.
Huge problem.
Yeah.
Huge problem for me.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if we just start shooting those guys, then that wouldn't be an issue anymore. Really. We could take all rapists and just line them up on a hill and just shoot them all into a pit of broken glass.
is that what you think?
Just
we
in
should
case.
do?
Yeah, just in case that the shot doesn't kill them, then they'll hit the glass, and they'll, live in agony for a while. Yeah, I'm pretty harsh on stuff like that, yes.
Yeah.
I am hardline on rapists, child molestation.
gonna say people that hurt kids.
Yeah, things like that are like I don't think there should be any grace period for things like that. Assuming it happened.
Right.
I still think there should be due process and that whole deal. I mean, because just because somebody accuses doesn't mean, because there's been lots of false accusations as well. So
this is the thing. I'm not for the death penalty. In any case.
Oh, wow. Okay. I jot down notes, by the way, if there's
But-
something I want to come back to.
I don't even get to the point in my own head where I'm like, well, what about this situation? What about that situation? For me, it stops because I have not enough trust in the legal system
Right.
to convincingly convict someone of that.
Sure. Because
that, like,
I'm
just
with you in
no,
a sense.
Period.
Yeah.
No, I'm also against
Right.
it from an economic sense. But
Okay. Yeah. Because I've gone back and forth on that actually my whole life. Even there's been episodes of this show where I literally changed my mind
Right.
in the episode about capital punishment.
yeah,
So but the one thing I've always said is like to be the guy that's actually flipping the switch or the guy that's administering
Yeah.
the lethal injection, like that's scary stuff because if you don't, I mean, because you're technically the one killing that guy, And you better be real sure he did whatever he did or whatever he was accused of doing, you know?
I actually just read a really interesting book called The Faithful Executioner, which is about an executioner in the 1600s, and it was like one of the first executioners where he like kept a journal of all of this stuff.
Oh, crazy.
But the weight he felt, because back in that time, he would execute people for certain crimes, but he would also, punishment would, for certain crimes, would be torture, different levels of torture, different varieties of torture for different crimes.
Right.
And so in addition to actually executing people for some other crimes, he would be the one to dispense torture for other crimes. And then he also had a side job as a doctor, as a healer, because he was one of the few people who had anatomical knowledge.
Interesting.
Right?
So would he like torture the people and then help fix them up after that and help them feel better?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So it was also like there were certain things where they had like X amount of torture to complete before they were executed, and like if they weren't strong enough to get through all of that torture, they would like take a break and he would like heal them up, and then they would like finish the torture and then execute them. But it was also it was one of the first people where they had like this complete journal of his career over decades and the social ostracism that he went through because of his job class and like his feelings about it, because it was the early modern era. Like there wasn't a lot of social mobility. His dad was an executioner, so he was an executioner.
Oh, okay. You just
right?
follow
Like,
the family line.
He didn't have like the opportunity to go do different apprenticeships. Like that was just that was the family.
Dad, I want to be a baker. No, you're going to be an executioner.
Yeah, like go polish the rack or whatever.
Right.
So that was really interesting, but it also went through like the legal system of the time and like what was sufficient proof and what was not sufficient proof, and like yeah.
Whenever I hear the word executioner or torture, whenever I hear the word torture, the only thing that pops into my head is Princess Bride. That whole scene where the guy's a torturer and it was like,
and that's like the best case scenario.
I know, right? That's the funny version, right? So I guess I could have, but I know people that go to that. What is it, in San Francisco or where is it? San Jose, somewhere there's like a museum of torture. Have you heard of this? Okay, I guess it's like they literally have like the old, like the actual ones, like a lot of the old machines that were used for certain torturing, and like people go to these places.
I've been to the Tower of London.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Oh, well, is
that
like,
a torture place or the Tower of London? I'm not very good at history, so.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The dungeons of the Tower of London are pretty notorious.
Which tower sounds like high, and then dungeon is low.
So it's actually the Tower of London is like the whole castle. It's in London.
Okay.
And it's the seat of the monarchy in England, in London.
Okay.
Aside from Buckingham Palace. But it was built in the 1000s by William the Conqueror. But anyway, the main castle is a square, and it has 4 towers at each of the corners. And then there's a dungeon below, but that's where King Henry VIII killed a bunch of his wives.
Oh, okay.
Like you can
heard of that guy.
You can see the lawn where Queen Anne Boleyn was beheaded.
Okay.
But they have they have the dungeons underneath, and they have a bunch of the old medieval torture implements.
Wow. That's
and
crazy.
Wax. So it's like Madame Tussauds wax sculptures there though, and it's like haunted house style where they're like there's people, they play the recordings of people like screaming.
Really?
Yeah. We went there on a field trip when I was like 10, and it was
when horrific. You were 10?
Yeah.
This is in London?
Yeah.
Why did you live in London when you were 10?
I grew up in England.
Really? Okay.
My parents were in the Air Force.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So
how long did you live in England to take a detour
until
here?
I was 10, and then we moved
from birth till 10. You were born there?
I was born in the Philippines.
Okay.
And then we moved to England when I was 1.5.
Okay.
And then we moved to California when I was 10.
When you were 10. Okay.
Yeah.
But you didn't keep the accent, unfortunately.
I got made fun of for the accent.
Oh, so
for
you
a
lost
while,
it.
and now I have adopted the California
California
drawl.
one. And now if you go back to London, they'll make fun of your California accent, probably.
Yeah, or maybe they'll think it's really cool.
Maybe. Like, oh, California must be from Hollywood.
Must be.
You must be a famous actor, yeah, because that's the only people that live in California.
Which is where I thought, like, when my parents were like, we're moving to California, there's going to be palm trees everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I've got, like, visions of Hollywood and Malibu Beach.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so cool. And then we moved to Lompoc, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Of all places in California.
What fresh hell is this?
Yeah. Yeah, Lompoc and Hollywood, a little bit different. But
I've adjusted. I love it now.
But you're close enough to Hollywood that if you want to go there, it's a day trip.
Yeah, I mean, I've also spent enough time in Hollywood where I'm like,
yeah,
it's rough.
Yeah,
it's really rough. Have you been down there recently?
Yeah, Bethany and I took for our anniversary. I think it was 2 years ago now. I believe I might be getting that wrong. So, babe, if you hear this, I'm sorry. But she planned this whole thing. We take turns every other year.
That's cute.
Planning the anniversary, and she always does way better than me. But she totally surprised me. We went down to Hollywood, and we stayed at... I'm not even remember the name of the hotel. But it's an old hotel that, like, Marilyn Monroe used to stay there, and, like, all these famous people. So it was really cool. But it's, like, right on where the stars are.
Yeah.
Like, you walk out of the hotel, and there's stars right in front of you, which that's something I never got to do is the stars, right? So that was part of why she got that hotel. But then she also took me to the... what's it called? It's the Beetlejuice. It's like a dinner experience restaurant where all these Tim Burton characters come out and they like do performances while you eat.
That sounds really
It's
cool.
awesome. It's so cool because she knows I'm a huge Tim Burton guy, and like even all the food was like themed for stuff like that. Like the burger I got had like scissors in it. It was like an Edward Scissorhands kind of thing, and yeah, it was really cool.
Like there were worms in all of the like
no worms that I saw
like,
anyway. Maybe in some of the mixed drinks they were making from the bar because they had the bar, and all the people in the bar and all the waiters and waitresses, they're all dressed the part. But then the actual performers come out and they sing and they do comedy and they do all this kind of stuff that was just really cool. I had a blast. So much fun. But anyway, point is we walked a lot around Hollywood, and I have this weird thing where I love big cities and walking around them as long as my kids aren't with me. Because if my kids are with me, then I'm like, okay, I got to worry about them seeing this or hearing this or
totally
like,
fair.
I know, right?
And also like you like regardless of what they see or what they hear, like first and foremost, you got to make sure you don't lose them.
That too, yes.
Which like I've been around kids,
right?
Good luck.
Yeah. That's why that whole leash thing is a good idea, right?
More people should leash their children. In my personal opinion,
right?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah,
I mean,
that's my whole thing.
I feel so strongly about it that I don't ever want to have to go anywhere with kids. I'm just not.
You're just never going to have kids.
Doing the kids thing.
Okay.
I just will not be doing.
That's a decision you made already off the bat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your boyfriend? You're still with your boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay. Same one that was last time we talked.
That's
okay.
What I was like. That wasn't a wait. Am I still with my boyfriend? That was a. Is it the same boyfriend as the last time
we talked?
I talked to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is probably a few years ago, right? I mean. Okay. I can't remember how long.
I think a year and a half.
Okay. I'm so bad with timelines. Yeah.
I am too. Yeah, he knows.
Okay. And he doesn't want kids either.
Because
that's kind of like a make or break for a relationship, right? I mean, really.
It is. I think he was a little on the fence about it, and he might still be on the fence about it. But at the time that he and I started dating, I was going on a good amount of dates.
Okay.
And so, like, my rule was, because I was in my 30s and the people that I was dating were also in their 30s, and this is, like, a decision point of life.
Right.
Was that if there was anyone that I went on multiple dates with, I would tell them by the third date that I was not having children.
Yeah. That's a good
because
rule.
I don't want to waste my time.
Right.
And I don't want to waste their time.
Right.
For some people, for me, it was an absolutely not. This is something I've known since I was a teenager.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And for some people, they feel just as strongly in the opposite direction.
Yes.
I'm not out here to change anybody's mind about that. Like, that's not...
Yeah. So that would be more of like a, maybe this just isn't going to work out kind of situation.
Yeah, you seem like a great person.
Right.
That's not what I want my life to look like. So.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So this won't work.
Well, at least you're on the same page. So
my boyfriend now has known this since we started dating. Mm-hmm. And I was just kind of like, hey, this is where I'm at. This is a decision that I've made.
Okay.
If this is a deal breaker for you,
yeah,
I'd like you to have this information sooner rather than later. And
yeah,
you know,
that's good.
He's an adult. Let him make that
decision. Exactly. So did you tell him that on your third date with him?
I think it was our second or third.
Second or third. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But
it's not really first date. The first conversation, like, it's not really...
The first date is just to see if you want to hang out with that person again.
Right, exactly.
Like, do I ever want to talk to you again?
Right.
And did I have a good time talking to you?
Yeah.
Like, that's it. That's all you have to figure out on a first date.
You don't have to get into any real, like, hardcore stuff.
No, just can we have a conversation?
Right.
Or our interests and values.
Yeah.
So different that...
Did you have a lot of those? Like, where after the first date, you're like,
oh, yeah, we had a great first date.
No, I mean, like, other guys you dated before that.
Oh.
That you had a first date and you're like, nah, this is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a lot of, like...
Yeah.
First dates and then not any more dates.
So how old are you?
I just turned 37.
Okay, 37. So I got about 10 years on you.
Yeah.
So I've always thought to myself, I really believe this. Like, if anything ever happened to Bethany, like tragedy or she left me or whatever happened,
right,
I think I would just be single for the rest of my life, because the whole dating world and the whole idea of doing that at my age is frightening.
Yeah.
Or even in my 30s. Like, I think I've felt this way for many years at this point. So, I mean, how do you even go? I mean, because it's different now, right? I mean, it's not like when we were younger and the whole idea, like, you might see a coworker and you're like kind of flirting and then you like ask her out later or something. Now it's like you got all these like Tinders and all this online stuff and dating apps and stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's super different. For me, it was a really welcome difference because, like, I only had one round of using dating apps.
Yeah.
And then I met my boyfriend that I'm with now.
There you go.
But before that, I lived in Lompoc, and it's a really small town. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I've had a lot of boyfriends. Okay. And hopefully none of them are listening to this podcast.
Maybe I've had one of them on. Who knows, right? I mean, that would be funny.
Yeah. And some of them were really lovely people, and they were really great experiences. But what I felt like happened to me was that I wanted to be loved and valued so much that I would date anybody who expressed interest in dating me.
Oh, okay.
Without really considering if we were compatible and if our values were aligned.
Right.
And if what we wanted out of life was aligned.
Okay.
And so I ended up in a bunch of relationships where I was just like, this isn't working. I'm not happy. Like, not to be like super specific or anything, but just like we're going in different directions. Mm-hmm. Like, we're living two completely different lives.
Right.
And this isn't working for me. And so when I got into my 30s, I started going to therapy. Okay. Nice. Which helped me figure out what the heck I was doing in the first place, what I was looking for, and like why things weren't working. Yeah. And so then I was able to start actually being like, oh, okay, this is what I want my life to look like, and these are the things that I value in partners. And I went at it from like a super academic approach. Okay. Which is kind of how I do most things, is like an insane person. So for me, having access to dating apps represented like so much more choice than I had previously had, like in my small town, limited to like the social sphere of people that I already knew. Right. Because I was just like, I've got to get out of this bubble. Like, I've already dated all of the people in this bubble.
That's a pretty small bubble.
That I want to date. And like, I dated one of their friends, or like it's all just too small towny. And so I was like, now that dating apps are a thing,
yeah, you
like,
can expand your horizons,
I can expand
right? Yeah.
out. I can go date. I can go talk to people and meet people that I've never met before, and they don't know anything about me,
Right?
And they don't know anything about my dating history. Not that I'm like, I'm gonna make up a persona. But just
this is my first date. I've never...
Just to be like, they don't have any preconceived notions about me from 5 years ago or from 10 years ago.
Yeah, you gotta like leave the stigma, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have that like over you.
And so I did like all sorts of journaling and like talked to my therapist and like really figured out what I wanted. And I sat down and I made a list. I think I found a list online of like 100 or 200 values. And I sat down and I ranked them all.
Okay. Like what values in a person that you see higher than others? Okay.
Like morality, sense of humor, religious. It's athletic. I don't think that's really a value. Like it's on the list. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just really being like, okay, what things are actually really important to me, instead of looking at a person and being like, they're hot, and then like twisting your mental story around that and being like, well, no, we work because of this, and this. Yeah. Right?
So to where the physical in that sense would take precedence over the person inside.
Or also, like, even if it's not a physical attraction, I think so many times people meet each other and they're like, we had so much chemistry. And I'm like, that's a red flag. It's a red flag. You have this history of bizarre attachments and traumatic relationships, and then you meet somebody and you feel that spark again, and it's the same spark that you felt with all of the things that came before.
Cycle,
and this is a warning sign. We don't chase that more. Right. So for me, I got to be like, okay, what I'm looking for is comfortability. What I'm looking for is a feeling of security. Not having to feel like I have to be on when I'm talking to somebody. Like safety. Right. Emotional safety.
Right, like guards down, no front anymore, just this is who we are and we work, you know?
And so I went on a lot of freaking dates. When I met my boyfriend, we went on a first date, and when I was on my way to the date, like he texted me and he was like, hey, because he lived up in Oceano and I was living in Lompoc at the time, and I was going up to meet him because one of my rules was like, nobody gets to know where I live until a certain point in time.
You can't trust people these days.
It's also the internet, so you have to have like a certain amount of safety protocols. Right. But he texted me and he was like, hey, just to let you know, it's a little chilly up here, so like make sure you bring a coat with you, make sure you have layers. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet. Yeah. Like someone's actually thinking about someone else.
And that was date one?
That was date one.
Oh, wow.
Then we went on the date. And I got back and I did date notes after all of my dates.
Wow. You still have them all?
I think they're somewhere in my phone.
Oh, see, that would be funny.
And I remember writing in my date notes, like, this is the most me that I have felt safe feeling on any of these dates. Yeah. And so that was like a huge green flag for me.
You don't hear that term a lot, green flag. Usually when people say that was a huge red flag, you don't hear people say that was a huge green flag.
We like to focus on
the negative, right? That's probably
also, our
true.
brains are wired to remember danger.
Yes.
Right?
Which like could be a good thing, right? I mean,
you've got a whole chunk of your brain that's designed to do that.
Right. Right.
But yeah, heaven forbid you ever found yourself no longer married.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I would be lost. That would be terrible.
It's a lot. It's like a part-time job.
Yeah.
But I do think that you can look at it like an adventure. There's also like a lot of self-discovery that you get to do when you're dating other people.
Yeah, I'm sure. I just think there's so many...
I don't wish that for you.
Yeah, no, me neither. There's just I don't know, there's so many scary elements to that. Like...
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if I was ever in another relationship after that, it would have to be something that just kind of organically happened. Like I wouldn't be pursuing it per se, or, you know what I mean? Like it would have to be like I'm in the same place as someone else all the time and something just started to connect.
Yeah.
And then maybe it would turn into something. But even then I would be scared because it's like, I don't trust people. Like I don't, you know.
Do you think that you're the kind of are you the kind of person that does scary things? or are you
It
the kind
depends.
of person who
It depends.
is more comfortable being comfortable?
Probably more that. I mean, there are things that I do that some people say, "Oh my gosh, how are you doing that?"
Yeah.
But I mean, I've struggled with anxiety my whole life. So I think we already talked
Yeah.
about that on our drive out to Cuyama. But since I was 13, I've had anxiety. So there's a lot of things that I won't do today that other people are just like, "What, dude? That's totally normal. Like, why are you
Like
scared
what?
of that?" I don't know. Well, like being in public with my kids is one of them, right? That's an actual fear that I have, and I have severe anxiety if I'm somewhere because I'm deathly afraid of what my kids might be exposed to, because somewhere deep in my brain I think, well, what's that going to do to their psyche? You know what I mean? Like things like that. And the reality of it is probably not much. Like it probably, because people with anxiety, we always think worst case, right? We always think the worst possible scenario that's going to happen. It's just kind of where my mind always goes.
Yeah.
So there's stuff like that, like eating in certain restaurants where I've had a panic attack. I still won't go in there, unless I'm feeling really, because I went through CBT therapy and all that kind of stuff. And that's one of the things that you need to do is to go back into those places and in the sense, hoping you're going to have a panic attack, because the whole point, right, it sounds weird. Right? It's that, what do they call that? A paradox.
Yeah.
Where you're hoping for the thing you're trying to get rid of, but it's by hoping for it, in a sense, it takes it away, because you knock the legs out from under it, because anxiety is all driven by fear. So if you can remove the fear, then it's got nothing on you. It takes its claws out of you at that point, So there's still lots of stuff like that. So like traveling and stuff is always difficult for me. So but.
I mean, I hate going to a new grocery store.
Oh, really?
Like, I don't.
Is that because you can't find where stuff is, or is it because you don't know the workers, or you?
All of it.
Okay.
It's because it's a new environment.
Okay.
And I don't feel like I'm in control.
Oh,
that's what a lot of my stuff
okay.
comes down to, is that I feel like I need to be in control.
Right. And you've constructed kind of your own little world where you are.
Yeah.
And then if you ever
where I have the illusion of control.
Right. Well, exactly. In your mind, you have control, at least to where you feel that way. Okay.
I'll still do it.
Yeah.
I'll go to a new grocery store, but I'm not happy about it. I'm
Right.
going to complain the whole time.
This place sucks. How can they put the peanut butter on this side of the store? How dumb is that?
It's just stressful. It's just stressful. And it's what's such a silly thing to be stressful about?
Right.
Like, it's a grocery store.
Right.
You're fine.
Right.
You're fine.
But that's anxiety, right? I mean, that is really what it is. It's this irrational fears of things that really shouldn't be scary at all.
Yeah.
Because fear is normal. There's things we should be afraid of, right? I should be afraid to walk off a cliff, which is why if I'm near a cliff, I'm not going to be walking on the edge because of that fear. That's a healthy fear.
Yeah.
But it's not a healthy fear to say, I'm not going to that grocery store. When the odds of anything bad happening to you in there are pretty much zero, right? But you're still like, I'm not
Same
going
as
there.
the grocery store that you go to all
Yeah,
the time.
exactly.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
The same odds, right, of something happening. Like
it's just a comfort thing.
Right.
But
it is. Yeah. And that's kind of, I think that's what we need to learn to do is through that kind of therapy, is to kind of break out of that in a sense, but it's easier said than done sometimes, and then you try to explain to people that don't suffer with that stuff, and they're just like, dude, just go in there.
Just do it.
What's the matter with you?
Just
Man
do
up.
it.
Being a wuss. It's like, what?
Yeah. Don't be a baby.
But I mean, I think you probably say too, I mean, you're probably leaps and bounds farther along in a better way than you were when you first started struggling with anxiety, right? Do you feel like you've progressed? Or no? Not so much?
It's a really hard question. I've dealt with it since I was a kid.
Right.
Even though I didn't know.
Yeah, same as me.
What it was.
I was 33 by the time I figured out what it was.
Yeah. I think I was in my late 20s. And, I mean, I know what it is now.
Right. Right. Which is a big building block, right, to starting to get the help. But have you done things like CBT or like?
Yeah, I mean, I've done multiple years of CBT therapy.
Okay.
And for recently found out that I have other mental stuff going on that I'm medicated now for.
Like physical mental stuff, not just mental stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So.
And does that help?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So for me, and I don't mind talking about it in detail either. So I recently got diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
Oh, wow.
Bipolar 2, which means that I don't lose touch with reality.
Okay.
I don't go, I don't hear voices.
Right.
I don't break with reality.
Okay.
But what it means is that my moods are just so much bigger than what is normal for an average person.
Okay.
And so I will have long periods of clinical depression that are punctuated by episodes of mania, which looks different for different people.
Yeah.
But now that I take medication for that, my anxiety is also a lot better.
It's a byproduct.
Yeah,
Nice.
well, what my medication does is it binds with certain receptors that have been overstimulated in my brain.
Okay.
That's a thing that I've dealt with for a really long time, and a lot of my anxiety comes from being overstimulated or hyperstimulated all the time.
Okay.
So like hearing every noise in a room, taking in every visual cue, and most people's brains filter these things out, and mine doesn't do a very good job of that. I'm in a hyper-aware state all the time. Which means I'm on edge all the time,
Right.
which makes you very anxious.
Right. For sure. Yeah.
So now that my brain chemicals are in more control, I feel a lot less anxiety. And I'm also a lot better able to recognize, like, you're feeling really anxious right now, so let's just take a step back.
Right.
Let's turn off one of the 3 different sources of noise that are happening right now, or whatever it is. It just makes things easier to manage.
So that's kind of the consciousness to even do that, right? Because now that you know what you're dealing with.
Because the medication gives me space.
Right.
And so I was saying this in response to your question was, have you tried CBT? And yeah, I did that for years.
Right.
And it was so frustrating for me because I did it. I did it hard, and I did my homework, and I tried, and I worked, and nothing.
It did
was
nothing.
working.
Okay.
It did some things. It helped me
Okay.
recognize patterns of where I was being self-destructive, or
Sure.
where I needed to take some responsibility or whatever. But it didn't touch my depression. It didn't touch my anxiety. It made me a more self-aware person.
Right. Which could be a bad thing, I guess.
Which can be a blessing and a curse. You know, when your therapist is like, you're really self-aware, and you're
Right.
like, yeah, that is a large part of the problem.
I'm trying to cure that, you know?
Yeah, can we turn that off?
Yeah.
But so when I recentishly got treatment for this thing that I've been struggling with unbeknownst to me
Right.
since my early 20s.
Okay.
And it just turned the volume in my brain down to about half. And it was this incredible feeling of relief where I was like, oh my God, it wasn't that I haven't been doing therapy hard enough
Right.
for 6 years. It wasn't that I haven't been trying hard enough or
Right.
working hard enough for
Right.
6 years. There's literal physical
Yeah. chemical
imbalance in my brain. My brain doesn't make the juice. We have to go to the store and we have to buy the juice.
Buy the juice.
And that's
Right.
okay.
Yeah. Which is probably a burden off your shoulders because it sounds like for years you probably thought, this is my fault. Why can't I do this? I'm doing everything they're telling me to do.
I go to
It's
bed
not
at the same
working.
time.
Yeah.
I exercise. I eat healthy. I journal. I do all the therapy homework.
Right.
I do all. And I go and I talk to these doctors, and then they're like, well, how much sleep are you getting? I'm like, 8 hours a night. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, do you want to see my sleep journal?
Yeah.
Do you want to look at my Strava? Like,
Yeah.
I've got receipts.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, oh, well, that's weird.
Yeah. It's frustrating when they ask those questions that they're so surface level where you're like, this is not my first rodeo. I've been through this before. I've been dealing with this for years.
Yeah.
Let's just cut all the stupid, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this, it's not
Yeah.
this. We're done.
It's so frustrating. And at the same time, like, I know that they're doing their due diligence. And I'm just like, okay, we just have to get through the first 3 meetings. And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
But I've also, like, I've fired therapists before.
Oh, yeah?
Not in a mean way.
You don't
Just
fire them. You just say, I'm not coming back to you.
We're not talking anymore.
We're done.
Found someone else.
Yeah.
There's someone else.
I'm seeing other people.
Seeing other professionals.
Okay. Okay.
But I always give them a certain amount of time before I make that decision because I know they have to ask all those questions.
Right. It's just protocol, and that's
It's
what's
protocol.
frustrating. It's like when I call like Apple when I'm dealing with stuff with my iTunes or whatever. It's the same thing.
Did
and I
you
always
try
say the same
turning it
thing.
off and turning it on
Yeah,
again?
it's always the same stuff. What about this? I said, look, let me just save us all some time. Put me through to your senior advisor because that's where we're going to get anyway, and we can save an hour right now.
Yeah.
Well, sir, I have to also. I said, yeah, but this is just ridiculous. Have your senior advisor call me. Just maybe put in a message. Here's Ryan's number. Call him later whenever you have a chance.
Yeah.
Because trust me, what you're going to tell me right now is not going to fix my problem. I know that for a fact.
I do this at work when I have to like put in an IT ticket. Because I'll put in the IT ticket and I'll be like, just so you know, I already tried turning it off and turning it on again. I already cleared my cache.
Yeah.
I already checked all my apps for updates. Because I know those are the first 3 things you're going to tell me.
Right.
I already did all those
Yeah.
things. Can we start at step 4 this
Yes,
time?
right. And they're like,
Instead of
oh, okay.
emailing back and forth for an hour.
Right. And they probably think you're arrogant when you say something like that. Like, who do you think you are? Don't tell me what step I'm going to start on.
I have a friend that works in IT and he's like, that's good.
Oh, okay.
That helps.
They appreciate
Yes,
that.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to waste time either.
Right. And they're
Okay.
coming from the perspective of like the majority of folks who submit a ticket
Yeah.
have not done those things
Okay.
and maybe don't know how to do those
Right.
things.
Right.
I mean, most people can turn it off and turn it on
Right.
again, but they'll have to like talk them through clearing the cache or
Yeah.
checking for updates or
That's
whatever.
true. You know, that might be that. I mean, I guess it's wrong of me to view it just from my perspective because maybe the vast majority of people that call in there, that is all they need to do is turn it off and on again. And they haven't thought of that
Right.
because they're, not.
Which is like cool, easy fix.
Right. Oh, that's the best. Oh, really? That's all I got to do?
Sweet.
Great.
Done. Ticket resolved.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Piece of cake, but
And I always prefer it too, because I get a lot of trying to like. Is there a succinct way I can say this? I work for a college, and I do a lot of troubleshooting with students who are trying to register for classes. And so a lot of the times I'll get an email that says, "It won't let me add this class. Can you help me?" And I'm like. I probably can help you. I'm gonna need a lot more information.
Right.
Though.
Right.
And so then I have to go through this process of asking all these questions and whatever.
Yeah.
And every now and then I'll get an email that says like, "Hey, I had a permission number for this class. The permission number was supposed to override prerequisites. I tried to use the permission number. I followed the instructions on the registrar's page. Here's a screenshot of the error message that I'm getting. Do you know how to get around this problem?"
There you go.
And I'm like, yeah.
There you go.
You just
got
gave me
something to work
so
with.
much. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you can't get in that class because the class is full.
Right.
And your permission number does something else.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I can tell you exactly what's
And
going on.
then what you want to say is, "You stupid idiot," but you don't say that because
Not in that case, because
yeah.
I'm like, oh, sucks for you. You got waitlisted,
Yeah.
kid.
Sometimes you want to say, "Sir, your problem is you're just dumb. That's the problem. You need to. Should you even be in college? I mean, you might be too dumb for college."
On my bad days, honestly.
Yeah.
Hopefully, also
mean-
none of our students are listening to this. Sorry, kids.
Well, at least not the dumb ones.
But sometimes I'm like, dang, dude. This is
Yeah.
college. How...
Yeah.
In general, I do worry about them.
Yeah. Sometimes, right? Yeah.
Like, you're going to be out in the world
Right.
on your own in
Yeah.
like 18 months.
Yeah, it's
and,
scary.
Some of them I'm like, you're good to go.
Right.
You got the skills you need.
Right.
You know how to make a phone call.
Yeah.
You know how to write an email. You feel confident.
Which
Releasing
makes
this
you
one
want to
into
go
the wild.
shake their parents' hands and say,
Yeah.
"Look, whoever it was that raised them, grandparents, whoever it was, say, well done, good job." So craziness.
It's just like anything else. There's a mix.
Yeah.
There's a mix.
Yeah. And then Malcolm Jamal Warner, that one hit me hard, man. I love that guy.
I feel like I should know who that is.
Cosby Show. He was Theo on the Cosby Show.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what he's most well known for. But obviously that was 40 years ago, so I imagine he.
I remember the Cosby Show.
Yeah,
It's
such a good show.
Big Nick at Night.
Yes, such a great show. I still show my kids that show. To me, that was like one of the last really kind of wholesome, good comedy shows. It was just
Yeah.
funny without being raunchy, So
Yeah.
so good. But
This is my blank face as I'm trying to think of a contemporary.
A show that's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just started watching Superstore. Have you seen this show? Just started watching. We just got through New Girl. Do you like New Girl or not?
I love New Girl so much.
We just finished it.
My boyfriend Nick watch it.
Okay.
And so like the first 2 seasons I was making him watch it.
Okay.
And now he's like...
Yeah. See, it didn't take long for me. It was the same. Bethany's the one that showed it to me. We were on another anniversary trip. We stayed in a hotel in Santa Barbara, right on the beach. And we just got back from dinner, and we didn't really have anything going on that night. And we're like, oh, let's just watch TV or whatever, and put on the thing. And she saw the New Girl was streaming or whatever. And she goes, this is a show I've always thought you would like. And because she had already watched through the whole thing without me, and it was the same for Friends. That's how she got me into Friends. But anyway, she started me episode 1 of New Girl. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest show ever. Instantly, I was hooked into it. I said, this is funny, it's charming, the characters are so likable, it's just so awesome. Lovable. I fell in love with, the first thing was like, obviously Nick and Jess.
Yeah, spoilers
if anybody hasn't seen it.
New Girl, go watch
the show that was on a long time ago. I'm like, if you haven't seen it yet, that's on you, but I get it. But I got more into Schmidt and Cece. That was the relationship that I was all about, man. I was like, oh my gosh.
Schmidt's character
arc
is so good.
He's the best.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And like, I love I've probably watched it 6 or 7 times now.
Oh, wow.
But like in the beginning seasons, he's the worst. Yeah. He's awful.
Like annoying, you mean? Just kind of
and
the top.
The way he is with Elizabeth and Cece.
Yeah.
And like he's just
that
so
part I
selfish.
hated.
Yeah,
I hated that whole thing.
He is really just a very punchable dude.
Yes. You know why I hated that so much is because I liked her too. Mm-hmm. And I said this. I told my wife, I said this would be so much easier if they made Elizabeth be this horrible person that I couldn't stand. Then I would be like, okay, good. But I'm like, I like them both, and I feel bad for whichever one he's going to leave hanging. So terrible.
And then you just feel bad for both of them because Schmidt's being an absolute jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I love it, and I think at first my boyfriend Nick was really resistant to it.
Oh, really?
Because he took the character of Nick Miller as like a personal attack on his lifestyle.
Anybody who bears my namesake.
Well, and like there were just some similarities.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Like
he's funny. That's funny then.
Like, oh, you shouldn't keep your bills in a box in the closet.
Oh, well, yeah,
stuff.
That's true.
Like he
that's
felt
true.
pretty called out by that character.
You're like, babe, you got to watch this show. There's this character who's a lot like somebody we both know. And he's watching. He's like, wait a second.
But he'll also do stuff where like he's just so funny. Sometimes there was one time where I think we were both reading in bed, and he like went to kiss me on the shoulder. But like I was too far away, so he just kissed himself on the shoulder. And I was like, I saw this in my peripheral vision, and I'm like, did you just kiss yourself on the shoulder? And he was like, I was gonna kiss you, but you were too far away, so I just.
You think
and
you
I was
would
like,
just...
that was a real Nick Miller move, right? That was a very Nick Miller thing to do.
So funny, man. Oh my gosh, too funny. But anyway, and also the other relationship I really connected with was
Winston.
Yes, Allie. My gosh, I loved her from the get-go.
I mean, I just love Winston. I love Allie as well.
Yes.
But Winston is just such a great
and he was the one that took
character.
so long. He kept
so
dating people, and you get in his, and it's like, no, she's not the one. No, she's not the one. He's got the cat. Yeah, but he needs more than a cat,
Yeah.
And so, and then I'll tell you this too, before we actually get into it. The one episode, there's been a few episodes that I was literally mad. I was so upset. Like, I'm just like, I get very emotional. I'm a very emotional person, as most people with anxiety are. But the when he was dating, I don't remember her name now. You're going to know. It's the practical joke girl. Rhonda.
You've been Rhonda.
Oh my gosh. That episode was making me so angry. And then when she came back towards the end of the show, and she was pulling all that stuff again, I was like, would somebody just punch her or something?
Yeah, just get her out of here.
Yes, she's terrible.
But Winston also goes along with it.
I know. I think that's why I didn't like it. Because it made me not like him in that episode, which was hard because I really liked him as a character. And the other guy that I really could not stand, and my wife does not understand this at all because she likes him, was Sam. Every time that guy was on screen, he's such a derp. Like he's like, it's like, dude, what is wrong with that guy?
Yeah.
He's such a and then that whole episode where he came in and he was like trying to when she was getting back together with Nick and then Sam was trying to like mess with stuff and they both show up at the car dealership and that whole thing. I was like, what are you doing? Go home!
I actually love that episode.
Really?
I think it's so
my
fun.
gosh, I was yelling at the screen.
I mean, Nick and Sam are both. It's so frustrating. And I also watching that episode from the perspective of a woman is just being like, I think maybe it resonated with me.
Yeah.
Right? Like I've gone to a car dealership.
Oh, okay.
And
with both your boyfriends there?
No, but like tried to get taken seriously.
Oh, I see what you mean. Because they'll take advantage of you
car.
and say, she doesn't know anything.
There was one time a while ago where I was trying to buy a new car and I wanted a stick shift. And I was asking to test drive a car. And they were like, oh, well, why don't you test drive this other car? Like, they kept trying to steer me away from the car that I wanted to test drive.
Like, they wanted you to do an automatic?
And I came to realize.
Oh.
Right? And they were like, kept trying to shift my attention. And I was like, I want to, like, what's going on here? I want to test drive this car.
Right.
And they were like, oh, well, that one's a manual. And I was like... I know that. That's why I am asking to test drive it.
You're like, women can drive manuals. Have you ever heard of Danica Patrick?
I can actually tell it's manual by looking inside of it.
Yes.
And seeing the gear shift.
Yeah.
I know.
I would have left the dealership and been like, I'm going somewhere else. You just lost your business, buddy.
But then at the end of the episode where she's test driving the car.
Right.
And then she's like...
You're like, yeah!
She's putting her music on and she's like, and it's gonna be warm in here! And you two don't have to actually get along, but you have to pretend to get along. Yeah. You better make it convincing.
Hey, that was a pretty good impersonation.
Like, yeah.
That was actually really good. Wow. That was impressive.
So it's really, I think it's satisfying to watch from my perspective.
Yeah.
Because of
that. Great show. Loved it.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily love the way they fast forwarded it at the end. More spoilers.
I know.
But I realized they were told, hey, look, I'm assuming they were told after whatever season 6 we're done. They said, okay, well, give us however was it 8 episodes. I think it was the 7th season.
It's only 6.
Is it 6?
Yeah.
Just to wrap it up. Yeah. So they obviously excelled everything forward and said, okay, well, now there's kids involved and everybody's married and all this is happening. And so that was kind of cool. And their little girl, Cece and Schmidt, was she not hilarious? Ruth. Yeah. I almost want to call her Rosie. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Yeah. But she was a crack up, man. That actress that played, I don't know if she does anything now still. I haven't looked it up. But
it's so good.
But Superstore, we just started, brand new. I mean, it's an older show. I think it started, I might be wrong here. I'm not even going to say. It's somewhat older. But it's America Ferrera is one of the main characters. But it's basically Walmart. Okay. It's basically like The Office, but it's Walmart. And you have all the employees of Walmart, and they're all quirky, and they all have their things, and all these things are coming. It's really funny. We're cracking up watching it. It's hilarious. It's just like The Office, where there's certain characters and certain things are just like, oh, I can't stand that guy. Or you're just laughing your head off. It's like, it's both. You know what I mean? I don't know if you ever watched The Office.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of like Michael Scott. It was like one of those characters where sometimes he said and did things that were so cringy and so like, oh my gosh, dude, really? Are you that stupid? Like, seriously? But then other times you're just laughing your head off.
It's another great character arc, though.
Right. For sure.
By the end of the show, his character evolves so much.
Yeah. Well, that's what I tell people that say, oh, I tried to watch that and I couldn't get into it. So how far did you get? Oh, like 2 or 3 episodes. Don't stop there.
The modern attention span.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. All right. So on to and again, these are things I'm going to let you flesh out as we go. Okay. These are going to be 3 questions that are based on the 3 main headings: music, politics, spirituality. And they're very simple, very one answer, just to kind of get a feel of where you're coming from. Okay. The first one is, what is your favorite genre of music? If you had to pick only one. I know that's hard, but if you had to pick just one, what would it be? If I had to pick just one? Yeah. I would pick rock music because it's super broad. It is. And it gives me like the most variety within the umbrella category. Yeah, there you go. Boy, that's anywhere from Air Supply to Slayer. Buddy. Can't pin me down. But that takes out things like country and hip hop and reggae and that stuff. I mean, there's country that you like, I'm sure. That's true, like Southern rock and that kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, cool. Politically, I think I know the answer to this. Do you tend to lean more left or right? I tend to lean quite left. Quite left. Okay. Yeah. That's what I would guess just by talking to you so far. Yeah. And the last one is, in one word, describe your spiritual beliefs.
Does it have to be one word?
It can be a few words. But I'll let you go into detail later.
Because I thought about this before. Because I was like, how do I describe my...
Like, how would you identify if someone says, what do you believe about spiritual things? You know.
I would describe myself as a benevolent nihilist.
Oh, wow. Okay. There's a first. I haven't had anybody answer that way yet. Benevolent nihilist. Okay.
Like, nothing matters.
Yeah.
So you might as well make the best of it, right?
Okay. We're going to get into that one.
Could also be like a whimsical nihilist.
Whimsical. Okay. I like that. That sounds like a name of a band.
And that's like aspirational. That's like where I would like to be.
Oh, okay. You haven't gotten there yet.
Working on it every day. Every day.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, cool. Let's start with music. We'll jump into some music stuff.
Okay.
Would you consider yourself like a huge music fan, or kind of a just in the background kind of person? Or are you all into it, or?
I guess kind of in the background of my life. So I'm always surrounded by musicians. And I feel like I am never the person in a room who's the most passionate about music, because I'm surrounded by people who are musicians.
Yeah. Sounds like you're surrounded by people who might be a good guest for the show, so make sure you let them know about it.
Yeah. And like, I grew up with my dad playing guitar.
Okay.
And
your dad's a musician?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
An Irish musician.
And apparently I don't even know if he knows that. But yeah, so it's like, my opinion has never been the most educated or the most nuanced.
Right.
Or even really like the most political.
Okay.
I just kind of like what I like.
Okay.
And a lot of it is stuff I was raised with.
Right. It's nostalgic. But when you hear something you like, do you really like what you're hearing? Is it something that you want to hear again? You're like, oh my gosh, like that was really cool.
So I haven't heard a lot of new stuff recently. Like, I don't seek out... It's hard for me to seek out new media. Okay. And that is true of television and music. Like, I comfort watch shows. Yeah. And I comfort, listen to albums. Okay. I will still occasionally, maybe like once a month, I'll try and find like a Spotify but a Spotify... Like a playlist that's like new alt country or like new another genre that I'm into, and try and like explore things, and like I'll heart the songs that sound good to me. Okay. And how does that work? I don't do Spotify, but does it like put it on a playlist of you? Like you have a list of songs that you like, and then it'll show you more of that stuff. Okay. When you go to listen to the radio station of an artist. So like for instance, I am a big fan of John Hiatt. Okay. So I'll listen to John Hiatt radio quite a bit. And then when you go and you like other artists that are similar to that category, it'll start like adding them to that radio station for you. Like this person's like John Hiatt. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do that. But it's usually like someone will show me a song and I'll either be like, oh, I like that, or I don't. Right. Well, that's honestly, that's kind of where I'm at this stage in my life now, is that there's just so much new stuff coming out. There's so much, even like you said, with like TV shows and movies and stuff. I tend to only watch or listen to things that someone recommends to me. Like people that listen to the show, they'll be like, oh, Ryan's really into this band. I wonder if he's heard of this band. And they'll shoot me an email or text and like, hey, have you heard of these guys? And most of the time I'm usually like, yeah. But every once in a while, it's like, no, I never heard of them. Oh, Ryan, you really like them. And then sometimes I'll check them out. I mean, I'll always check them out. Sometimes I'll be like, dude, this is terrible. What are you talking about? Other times they become one of my favorites, like instantly. So, and then when that happens, I go nuts. Like I'm the kind of person, if I hear more than 3 or 4 songs by a band or an artist that I really like, then I will literally try to get everything they've ever done. And I will start at the very beginning. If I can get an old demo tape, that's where I start. Because I love, I love listening to the progression of the art form as they go through. I would much rather do that than listen to their newest album first,
you know, even though that might be their best one, that because they're at the kind of the peak of their writing. But like, I want to hear like, because I'm not really into punk rock, so I love to hear like bands that I love now that sound more polished and they're more like they've obviously perfected their craft in a way and they're signed now. But if you listen to like an old demo tape when they're just 4 teenagers in a garage just rocking out, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so pure and so like real, and they just don't even know what they're doing. They're just like, look, we love music, we want to make it.
Yeah.
We want to be like our rock idols, you know. Let's just do it. Let's get us. Turn on a little tape machine and just get and just start just rocking out in the garage. And then to see that morph into something that is selling platinum albums and stuff years later or something, you know, that's so cool to me. But yeah, so I get it. I don't listen to everything that comes out, mainly because
how could you literally could not.
You could not, because there's so much.
There's so
and
much.
And in my opinion, and maybe it's just because I'm old and I know everybody does this, they say, well, the music today sucks. But it's kind of true. Like, there's very rarely is there a new artist that I really attach to. It happens. It does happen. But it's very, very, not very often.
So I'm recognizing my age as being like, I can't even get to the point with a lot of newer stuff that I listen to where I'm like, this is good or not good. Like, I struggle to recognize some new things as music.
Right.
Like,
exactly. Yes.
I'm like, what am I listening to right now?
Right.
This is so cacophonous.
Yeah.
Again, it's like there's too many things happening.
Right.
Give me an acoustic guitar and a drum beat, man. Like, this is overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
so you're a minimalist. That's what they would call you. A minimalist.
Yeah.
I can't even say that word. It's a tongue twister.
minimalistic. Yeah.
Minimalistic. You just want something simple. So do you enjoy like live shows because of that? Like, do you enjoy like sitting and listening to No, you don't. Okay. Even like a coffee shop setting where a
Coffee
guy's
shop, yes.
like a singer-songwriter is kind of
Singer-songwriter night?
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I do enjoy live music.
Okay.
Quite a bit. I find the setting difficult oftentimes.
Like if it's a big venue with lots of people.
Can't do it.
There
Can't
you go.
hang.
Yep.
Not a fun time for me. Also, my bedtime is like 8 o'clock. So there's a lot of things that
When
are
do you get
just
up?
early.
How early? I'm curious.
Usually like 4:30.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
But I go to bed at like 11.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
I would not be a happy camper.
Yeah. Well, everybody's different. I've learned this. For years, I was trying to get 8 hours of sleep, and I was tired all the time.
Yeah.
And then at some point, probably 10 or so years ago, I realized 6 is my magic number.
Yeah.
So if I go to bed at like 10 and get up at 4, or 11 and get up at like 4:30, that's like perfect for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not tired. I feel energetic. I feel good.
That's good.
Yeah.
I would not.
No.
I would not feel
What?
good.
So if you get a solid 8, are you good to go?
Yeah, usually.
Okay. So is there a reason you get up that early? To take another side
I
tangent
like
here?
it.
Okay. Is it because it's peaceful and quiet?
It's
and
peaceful and quiet.
Okay.
It's also just like my natural rhythm. I'm not really a late night person.
Okay.
I've never really been.
Okay.
I've done, like I was telling you earlier, like I worked in a coffee shop for like 7 years. So I had to be at work at 5 a.m. 5 days a week
Right.
for 7 years. And I think that might have something to do with
Okay.
it. But I also spent a fair amount of time bartending, where I
Which
would
is late nights.
not get home
Right.
until 3 a.m. And
Yeah.
I hated that. Like,
Okay.
my body just didn't
Okay.
adjust to that schedule.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Okay.
Like, I just...
Yeah.
That's what feels natural for me, is waking up earlier and going to bed earlier.
Okay.
And I also, for the most part, there isn't a whole lot of stuff that goes on at night that I'm like, oh, my life would have been better if I had stayed up late to do
Yeah.
that.
Well, the freaks come out at night, as they say.
Freaks,
Right?
man. They're just out there.
Yeah, I think depending on the stage of life, I think when I was younger, like in my early 20s, I was definitely more of a night person. Like we would stay up till really late, sleep really late. But then once you kind of get into jobs where you have to be, you know, most jobs are like 9 to 5, right? So you can't sleep till noon.
Yeah.
So, you know, when we started having kids and like everything has kind of changed that. So I was probably at that point like a 6 or 7 get up kind of guy. And then I think as my family grew, and then I got to the point where life was so loud and chaotic all the time, because I mean we have 4 kids.
Yeah.
And just
It's
everything
a lot of
going
people
on,
in
it
the house.
is, right? And then I started to realize if I get up early, it's calm and quiet and peaceful. And I have a couple hours before anybody starts waking up, you know? So I started to cherish that time every morning of just kind of to myself. It was my time, you know?
Yeah.
And
It's
it was
also
hard
nice.
at first, but
Yeah, I bet. It's also nice to like have some time to be an actual human before you have to rush off to work in the morning. I enjoy that. For some people, I think the sleep is more important, and you know, that's cool for them.
Yeah.
But like, I like to not just like wake up and rush straight
Yeah.
to work. That doesn't make me
Walk
feel
up,
good.
you're going out the door, you're eating a piece of toast on your way out the door, you're doing your hair in the car on the way at the stoplight. Yeah. But some people love that kind of lifestyle. They thrive on that.
More power to them.
Yeah.
But-
or less power, I mean, depending on who it is, but
Yeah, most of this, like, my boyfriend is playing a show back in Lompoc. And,
oh, he's a musician too?
yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, cool, like, it's at this bar, maybe I can go with you and, like, say hi to old Lompoc friends and da-da-da-da-da, let me know what time you guys are gonna play. And he was like, oh, hey, by the way, I found out our set starts at 12. And I was like, oh, I'm not going.
Like 12 midnight?
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh,
I was
that's
just
when it
like,
starts?
Okay, I will.
You're like, I'm 4 hours asleep by that time.
Yeah, I'll be asleep. You know, but then there was another one that came up, and he was like, "Oh, this one starts at 7," and I was like, "I will go support you there."
Okay, nice. Is he in a band? Mm-hmm. What's the band? You got to drop it.
The band's name is Miney.
Miney?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Minee.
Miney. Okay. What kind of music?
They mostly play originals.
Right.
And this is not something that I'm good at, is categorizing
Oh, okay.
music.
Okay.
It's good.
Is it, like, what does your boyfriend do? Does he...
He sings and
He's
he
a singer.
plays guitar.
Okay.
And he writes most of the songs.
Okay. Is it heavy? Is it, like, rocky? Or is it
It's
more...
rocky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a drummer and a bass player. So it's a 3-person band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Green Day.
Like Green Day. Like Green Day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And they've been doing it for a long time? Have they been around?
They've been playing music together for about a year now.
Oh, it's still pretty new then.
Still pretty
Okay.
new.
They don't have anything recorded or anything?
They're working on recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Let me know when that happens, because I would love to hear some. I love hearing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, they'll be playing at the Lompoc, the Old Town Friday market thingy on August 1st.
Like outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so.
Just kind of playing as people walk by, like with the little hat out, and people hopefully throw some money.
They're playing at the wine bar that's right there.
Oh, okay.
At the PCH wine bar. But it's outside. So like the PCH wine bar has an inside where you go in and you order the wine, but then they have like an outdoor area. And for the Old Town Market, they usually set up some sort of outdoor stage.
Okay.
So it'll be fun.
Nice. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you have to be into music if your boyfriend is.
I mean, I like music. I enjoy music. I'm not a robot.
Right.
But I don't usually I don't like big concerts. I've gone to a couple of them. It's just overwhelming.
But that's more because of the crowds, right?
Yeah. I like little concerts like I like going to the Fremont in Slow.
Okay.
Or like the Renata in Santa Barbara.
Yeah. So what's some of give me kind of an idea of some of your favorites. Do you have like favorites? You mentioned John Hiatt.
Yeah. I really like John Hiatt. I grew up listening to John Hiatt.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Bruce Springsteen.
Really? Interesting.
Is that
No.
surprising
Well,
to
it
you?
is only because he's one of those artists that people either are all in, or they're like, I don't understand this guy's art. I don't know why people like him so much.
I'm all in on Bruce, man.
Okay.
All freaking in.
He is the boss to you.
He is the boss. But it's also from a political perspective.
Right, which he's gotten very political, especially lately.
He's been very political.
Yeah, but he's more outspoken.
Have you listened to Born in the USA?
Yes, his songs are, but he seems to be more like speaking about it now, like not just singing about it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are hitting that point where they feel the need to be vocal about things right now.
Sure.
But yeah, I freaking love Bruce Springsteen.
Okay, interesting.
I love Bruce Springsteen. I listened to his autobiography as an audiobook, which, if you check it out, he's the narrator.
Oh,
so
nice.
He reads it.
Okay.
And while I was listening to his autobiography, it's relatively chronological, and so I listened to his entire discography as I was listening to his
Oh,
autobiography.
wow. Now that's
so like as he's
hardcore.
talking about recording each album, I would go and sit and listen to that.
He would stop the audio and you go listen to the album.
Wouldn't necessarily like stop it mid-track, but
Okay.
I'd be like, oh, okay, like this, he's recording this album in the
Okay.
audiobook, so on my way to work today, I'll listen to that album.
Okay.
Just kind of like
Yeah.
pairing them together.
Okay.
So that was a really cool experience.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love Bruce Springsteen.
It is surprising. You just asked if that surprised me. It does because you're 37. It kind of surprises me a little.
Too young for Bruce?
A little bit. I mean, not too young, but like.
But John Hiatt wasn't.
Yeah, but I assume John Hiatt was probably somebody that like one of your parents or something turned you on to.
Yeah, my dad. I mean, but also probably Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
I like Heartland Rock, and I like the singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I really like about Bruce Springsteen. Is I think a lot of people have like this very one-note image of Bruce Springsteen, which is like his marble mouth voice.
Yeah. I don't know what that means. Like he has marbles in his mouth?
Yeah, he sings like he has a mouthful of marbles.
Has that been a critique that he's gotten? I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not real, to be honest with you, I don't know a whole... There's certain songs of his that I absolutely love.
Like what?
Like,
not to be like, name 3 of his songs.
Not to be, not to be trendy.
I believe you.
But that song that he did for the movie Philadelphia was a great song.
Streets of Philadelphia.
Streets of Philadelphia.
It's an amazing song.
That's a good one.
So this is what I love about Bruce, though, is that he's a poet.
Yeah.
Like, he really, really is. And I think he's this very interesting figure of American masculinity. That is the external perception of Bruce Springsteen and has been for a very long time. If you listen to his autobiography, his self-view is as a poet. And so you have this duality, right, of the external perception of him with his internal perception of himself.
Do you think you would prefer to just kind of hang out and write poetry as opposed to like performing music?
No, he also is very much a believer in performance, and like that's one of the things I would love to see Bruce Springsteen play.
Have you never?
No, his concerts sell out.
Yeah.
Like he's known as a performer. Like,
but you need to write him a letter and say, "Look, I'm the biggest fan you've ever had."
I'm not though. That's the thing is I'm not even close.
You're like, I listened to your whole audiobook while listening to your albums intermixed.
It was a great experience. It's like a 20-hour long audiobook.
Oh, I bet.
Too.
I can imagine.
He's had some life, but one of the other things, so like he's a poet. The way that he crafts his lyrics, I find moving. Sometimes, right? There's Are there some that you don't like? Okay.
Too. Yeah.
But he also, when I was listening to his audiobook, he was incredibly open and honest about his struggles with mental health and getting help and getting medicated, which for a man of his age is really working against some stigma and some preconceived notions. And like, I was just surprised by that in a really positive way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love Bruce Springsteen.
Okay. Nice.
For lots of reasons.
And you're not even ashamed. You're like you're saying it out there loud and proud.
Far and away the least shameful of my musical tastes.
Yeah. Okay.
My running playlist is
mostly him.
A wild ride. No, it's not even mostly Bruce Springsteen. Okay. It's just so chaotic.
Okay. Meaning different genres? Yeah. See, I'm the same way. People hear my playlist and they go, how do you do that? How can you bounce from reggae to hip-hop to death metal to whatever, classical or something? It's like, I love that.
For me, it's just my running playlist.
Okay.
Most of the time, I'm listening to Jackson Browne. I'm listening to John Hiatt. I'm listening to a newer artist called Jonathan Moreland, who's very like in that Heartland country influenced genre.
So Heartland is also like John Cougar Mellencamp, right? And like Tom Petty kind of stuff sometimes.
And I don't listen to that very much.
You don't like them? You hate them? You're going to state that for the record. You hate John Cougar Mellencamp.
They're my lifelong enemies.
Okay. Yeah.
We have
you
beef.
hope they die. Well, Tom Petty's already dead. Yeah. Did you do it?
That was me. The Force. No, I prefer John Petty. I prefer Tom Petty to John Cougar Mellencamp.
I do too. Yeah, I like them both.
I respect Tom Petty.
I prefer them both to Bruce Springsteen, though, to be honest with you.
Really?
I do. Yeah.
Wild.
I don't know if it's because I kind of grew up on those other two because my dad was a big Tom Petty fan and my mom liked John Cougar Mellencamp back in the like Jack and Diane and all those kind of songs. Is it Pink Houses? What was that name?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You know.
See,
that
I personally find the Coug to be a little campy, a little cheesy.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's coming from someone that likes Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But that's just me.
You're allowed.
We all
you
like
are allowed to
different
have your
stuff.
opinion.
Yeah.
This is America, after all.
But yeah, it's hard to like find the mental space to take in new music.
Yeah. Well, like you talked a
Something I
lot
wish I was
about
better
like
about.
comfort and like kind of like
Yeah.
even pain, like talk about painting your own little
Yeah.
area. That's probably true with music too, right?
Yeah.
We tend to
Oh.
gravitate towards what we already know is comforting and knowable.
Yeah.
And so something new is kind of like, ooh, wait a minute.
And
you
I'll
know?
tell my boyfriend this sometimes, like if we're at home hanging out, listening to music, I'm like, don't play me anything I don't know the words to. I don't
Right.
want to listen to that right now.
You're like, what are you doing? Come
What
on.
is this?
Yeah, that's funny.
I don't want to hear this right now.
Yeah. Does he try to show you new stuff often, or is he more of like a into some newer stuff? Is he your age, by the way? Are you guys around the same age?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's my age. I feel like maybe he used to more, but like I think he knows that I'm just not really into it.
Okay.
But I'm also, there's this thing where I feel like people be like, I want you to listen to this in front of me.
Right.
And I'm like, I am so uninterested in doing that.
Is that because you're worried about your reaction?
Send it to me. Well, also, I'm not necessarily worried about my reaction, but like I'm not giving whatever it is my full attention.
Okay.
Send it to me. I'll listen to it in my car when I'm driving by myself. I'll listen to it 3 or 4 or 5 times in a row.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what I really think about it.
Do you do that so you get a good feel for it?
Yeah. But
Okay.
like,
Nice.
I don't want to sit here in the middle of a party or in the middle of a small social gathering, because that's what you have when you're in your 30s.
Yes. Yeah. And you don't like crowds.
And
so.
right, and like try to listen to this song that I've never heard before, like
Yeah.
while I'm hosting, like while someone needs another drink, or like while whatever else is going on. Like, I don't want to do it. I also think I'm just, there's a word for it that I'm forgetting, but like when someone tells me to do something, I just don't want to do it.
Yeah, you're rebellious.
I'm a little, or even if someone's like, you've got to
Yeah.
watch this show, I'm like,
Yeah.
do I?
Yeah. Well, there you go. So Superstore's off your list now because I told you it was good and you should go watch it.
No, it's only 1%. It's like if stuff gets really popular and then like everyone's like, you've got to watch this, you've got to watch this.
Okay.
I'm like,
You're an
if it appeals-
anti-conformist.
If it appeals to everybody,
Yeah.
what is it really offering that's unique?
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also it's just like,
Yeah.
maybe it's a little bit of a nonconformist
It is.
thing.
That's a punk rock attitude. It is. That's like saying, you know what? If all this stuff is popular, forget
Who
it.
needs it?
I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I want something nobody's ever heard of before.
I'll even do that with books too.
Okay.
And it's not even like if folks are specifically telling me, oh, you've got to read this book, you've got to check this book out. But if a book is like getting too mainstream popular,
Yeah.
or like it just came out and there's like all this like buzz about it, then I'm just like,
Yeah.
maybe I'll get around to
Yet
it
I
later.
saw The Hunger Games on your reading list.
I freaking love The Hunger Games.
I do too. I don't care if it's mainstream popular or not. It's one of the best series ever written.
It was also, The Hunger Games is like, I read it before it was.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, feminist dystopias are like my specific area of research interest.
Okay.
And so I'm starting my master's program in the fall. And I wanted to spend this summer like rereading a lot of things that are in that category that I've read maybe like 10 years ago or
Okay.
5 years ago, and just
Nice.
sort of like refresh my palate
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I read them all.
Okay.
Again,
Including the 2 prequels?
I got the first prequel. I'm still like 50th in line for the one that just came out.
Yeah. It's good.
Sunrise on the Reaping. I've heard it's good. I'm really excited. I hope I get it before the summer ends.
Did you like Songbirds and Snakes?
I thought it was alright.
Okay.
I thought it was too long.
Yeah. I loved it.
Really? What did you like about it?
Lucy Gray, to me, was the best character of all time. I put her even above Katniss or above any of those. I don't know what it was, but it was to the point, like, so my older daughter, my 26-year-old daughter, her and I have always bonded over Hunger Games because we read them around the same time when they first came out. She was a teenager, and so we've she reads them, the newer ones, when they come out at the same time as me. And I remember talking about Songbirds, and what I said to her was, because I already heard they were making a movie. Mm-hmm. I said, all I'm going to say is they better cast Lucy Gray correctly.
Yeah.
Or else I am going to be so angry. And then I heard who they cast, and there was all this controversy around this actress.
Who did they cast? Because the movie's out, right?
Oh yeah, it's been out for a while. It was the girl, I don't remember her name. Oh yes, I do. Ziegler, Rachel Ziegler. She's the girl that played Snow White in the newest Snow White movie that came out. But there's all this controversy surrounding her because she's saying all these political things, and then the people that are making her movies are like, "Would you shut up? We're trying to sell it. We're trying to sell a movie here, and people
trying to get you a paycheck,
right? And no matter which side of this aisle you stand on, you're making these public pronouncements. Mm-hmm. We're gonna lose half our audience depending on who. You just be quiet. Just talk about the movie.
Yeah.
So they had all kind. There's all kind of, and I was like, oh, I don't know. But then when I saw it, have you not seen it? Okay, it was perfect casting.
Okay.
She nailed it.
I believe you.
I thought it was great. And now keep in mind, I've never seen her in anything else, so I don't know if she's good at anything else. But
I don't think I liked the book enough to watch it.
Okay.
But I'm also kind of a purist.
Okay.
So, like, I love the initial trilogy, and that was all that existed the first time that I read it.
Of course.
So, like, that's canon.
Yeah.
And then everything else, I'm kind of like, you really have to earn your place. Mm-hmm. I feel the same way about Arrested Development.
Okay. Never seen it. No.
Okay. Well,
I've had multiple people tell me I should watch it, though.
But you only need to watch the first 3 seasons.
Okay.
You don't need to watch seasons 4 and 5.
Okay.
They came after. There was like a 10-year break, and then they
went back. Was there really? They brought it back?
Yeah, so I'm like,
oh, weird.
When I tell people you should watch Arrested Development,
but
you only need to watch till season 4.
Can it end after the third season, though? Is it wrapped up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Okay. Enough.
Wrapped up is...
As it
any show that you love that you want to keep going forever can be wrapped up.
But you know what I mean? Like, there's shows that you can tell that was canceled before they were able to do anything.
It doesn't feel like that, I don't think.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm really excited to get my hot little hands on the 5th book.
Okay.
Sunrise on the Reaping.
It's really good.
Yeah.
You know what it's about.
Yeah.
Hamish okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I'm excited to read that. And I think part of the reason that I didn't like A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was because we have this villain, and then he's the protagonist of the book.
Yeah.
And I don't mean any disrespect to Suzanne Collins.
Because she listens to this podcast.
I know she's going to hear this, and I know her feelings are going to be hurt.
She's a big fan of this podcast, yeah.
I don't think, like, her vision for what she wanted to do with that character in that book was clear enough. Mm-hmm. Where it was like, are you trying to make this villain relatable?
Yeah.
Or not? And it landed in the middle for me, and it did neither.
Okay, gotcha.
And I was just kind of like, why was that 500 pages long?
Yeah. So you're okay. You're not saying that you are against, like, making a villain likable.
I love a morally gray character.
Okay.
I find them very interesting.
Because that's kind of popular now, right?
But that's kind of like, and that's kind of what I thought that she was... I was like, going into that book, I was like, that's the only way that this book seems interesting, right?
Yeah.
Is that, like, we're going to get some backstory that makes us at least understand where this character is coming from a little bit more, and it didn't really do that for me.
Really? Okay. You're talking about Snow. It didn't fill in some gaps for you to see why.
I was just kind of like, okay.
Really?
Like, it just seemed like, you're really privileged, and then...
Oh, but he wasn't. He wasn't, though.
But he was, and then he got poor, and, like, he just couldn't hang.
Oh, I see.
So he decided to like become evil so that he could be rich again. Like, I was like, I don't have any sympathy for you, which is where I started.
It was more like, I mean, because remember, but I mean, you realize, like, Lucy Gray was from 12. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that kind of gives you a little bit of background on why he was so against. I mean, he was against all of them, obviously, but he seemed to have a heart for 12 in a sense, where he was like, oh.
Yeah, sure, but, like, That also wasn't something that I was wondering about in the first trilogy. I wasn't like, dang, he seems disproportionately hateful towards District 12. I was like...
Okay. So what you're saying is you had certain questions that you wanted answered about his backstory, and you didn't get those from
Yeah, and she answered other questions I was less interested in.
So maybe I had those same questions.
Yeah,
or some of them. Like, but, yeah.
I mean, I didn't hate it.
Okay.
But I'm not going to read it again.
I hated the ending. That's the only part I hated. I loved it up until the ending because I thought that was really... It seemed...
Spoiler alert.
Well, she didn't die.
Again. No, she didn't.
We don't know what happened to her. That's the whole thing. Like, she was gone. He was going to kill her.
Right.
And then she was on to him, so she took off. And then he was, like, left holding the bag kind of a thing. So we don't really know what happened to her. But I just didn't like how his whole transformation from she's my best friend / love interest, I'm trying to do this, to I'm going to kill her, to me seemed way too abrupt. It seemed like it seemed like it should have taken more time than that to get to that place, but it seemed like she got like 300 pages in and she's like, okay, I got to wrap this up. Yeah,
well, and that's the thing too, is like, is this coming from a place of like sociopathy? Right? Like, is he a sociopath?
He is in the later books, obviously, right? Seemingly.
And to me, again, that's less interesting.
Okay.
Because it's just like, okay, it's kind of like an easy explanation of his evilness. Like, he's a sociopath. Like, he just...
Too simple.
I don't know. I just wanted more.
Yeah.
Or I wanted more, and I also wanted less.
Right.
Where was the editor?
Yeah. Right? Well, she's big time now. She doesn't need one of those, you know? You get to a point where, like, I don't need an editor. My books are going to sell just because my name's on it, like Stephen King.
That's a very real thing. Like, they had to have a conversation with Stephen King at one point where they were like, yo, you have to stop writing books this long. Not because people won't read them.
Yeah.
People will read them and people will buy them. But past a certain page count, we can't charge any more for books.
Right.
And it's costing us more money to print your books.
Hey, that's a good point.
Then we can charge for them.
Because let's say a book's $25, it's 500 pages or more.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, this is a 1,000-page book, so we got to produce double the materials for the same price.
Right.
That makes sense from a publisher's perspective.
But people are still only going to pay $8.99 for it.
Right.
Or whatever the going rate for a paperback is at that point in time.
Right.
You can't be like, it's double length, so this paperback...
Yeah.
We're talking like 1990s numbers, so this paperback is $20. People aren't going to buy that.
Right.
So they have to keep it at that same like standard paperback price.
I wouldn't buy a paperback anyway. I can't read paperbacks. I'm a hardback guy.
I like paperbacks.
Do you really?
Yeah, because I'm like a one-hander.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I have to use a pillow. I have like this elaborate reading setup.
Okay.
I have to have like a pillow on my lap so I can like prop the giant hardcover books open.
Okay.
But I prefer a paperback
really?
most of the time.
Okay. No, not me. I like to sit both-handed. I like to double-hand it. You know, I'm like, all right, I'm going to really get into this one. And that's kind of why I don't like
all my beverages.
That's true. Yeah. What's in this one? Just water?
Yeah.
Okay. You're like vodka. I had to get through this podcast somehow.
It's a little early for that. But you gotta do what you gotta do. No, it's just water. To be clear.
Yes.
For any of these listeners who don't know me.
Yes. Not vodka. It's too early for vodka. Maybe if it was like noon, we could talk about that. But so you have to let me know when you read the Sunrise on the Reaping.
I will. Because if the freaking San Luis library system ever...
I could have let you borrow it. You could have been done. We could have been talking about it right now. It's back at my daughter's house, which isn't that far from here, but I could probably get it. But if you're in SLO, you'd have to come pick it up sometime you were in town, which I don't know if you make it this way ever, but...
I've got plenty of other books to read.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, my library...
Yeah.
So it's summer, and I work at a school, so I don't have a lot to do during the summer, which I get to read more. It's very chill, whatever.
Right.
The last couple times I've gone into the library, my librarian has been like, oh, did all of your holds come in at once? And I'm like, I mean, yes and no, because
Yeah.
I have 20 books on hold because that's the maximum amount of books that you can have on hold. But it's because some of them, I'm freaking 50th
Right.
in position.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's about 10 books on my hold list that I'm not going to see for 3 months.
Yeah.
But, like, I can't take them off of my hold list.
Right.
It's very, like, first world problems.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
aware.
Right.
But my library is the Oceano Library, which is about the size of these bookshelves behind you.
Right.
And, like, I've read every book in that library already.
Even once.
And so I have to use my hold list to get any books that I actually want to read from the rest of the library system.
Right.
And so my hold list is constantly full. And so I go in and I've got like 6 books to pick up. And she's like, oh no, did all your holds come in at once? And I'm like, well, yeah, but also not really. But it's fine. Because now I can request new books.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Because I've
So you're
gotten
only
some
allowed
on
to
my
have
hold
12
list.
holds?
20. And then
20, I mean. Yeah.
So she's like, well, you know that you can pause your holds, right? And I'm like, again, like, this isn't a problem for me.
Yeah.
Like, I will read all of these by the time I get more holds in. But I'm at this weird point where I'm like, should I just tell her that I used to work at a library and that, like, she doesn't need to worry about me
you
anymore?
should pull rank on her.
Because I keep just trying to do this
Yeah.
polite. I'm like, it's okay. Like, I did actually know that. Thank you for being so helpful. But I did know that. And I'm actually perfectly capable of managing my own reading list. Thank you so much, though.
Yeah. Thanks, but no thanks, right?
I'm also like, yeah, I'm taking 6 books. I just returned 6 books. Like, I'm reading all of these books.
Yeah.
Why are you monitoring my books? I'm good, man.
Right.
Let me read as much as I want to read during
Yeah.
the summer. And, like, I just want to read frivolously.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to have someone telling me what to read in,
Yeah.
like, a month.
What is this,
And
Russia?
it's going to be hard
I
stuff.
mean, there should
And
be
it might
freedom,
be
you know?
Russian.
Yeah.
I might have to read Russian literature.
Like, what's his name?
Let me read my
Tolstoy.
murder mysteries right
Right.
now, okay?
Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah. Wowzers. How's that book thing going for you with the book club thing? You have a lot of people reading with you or no? Did you not get a big turnout?
Not really. Not a big
No.
turnout.
See, people suck. It's lame.
I want to be positive.
Yeah. But sometimes people see when you have to rely on other people to do their part, that's hard because you can be all in. And you're like, oh, I'm going to do my part, but
But this is the reason that I did it this way. Is because I've done a more conventional style of book club before. And I was like naively trying not to be the book club dictator. And so we would take turns choosing a book, which is a bad idea. You can't have like not book people picking book club books.
Yeah.
They don't quite know
Right.
the things, which is fine. Why would they?
yeah.
But it's like, hey, if you pick a book that came out 2 months ago, everyone is going to have to spend $30 to participate in book club.
Right.
We don't want to do that. Like,
Right.
pick a book that's been out for 2 years.
Yeah.
Make sure the library has enough copies of it so that everyone
Right.
can get a copy at the same time. We ended up having to make a rule at one point that nobody could pick a book that was longer than 400 pages long unless it was unanimously
So Stephen
approved.
King's out.
Stephen King is out. Well, I'll tell you what did it. It was A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara.
Oh, okay. Wow, you know how to say his name. That's pretty impressive. That is
Her
impressive.
name.
Her name. See, I didn't even know.
I was the only person in the book club. I did not choose that book, and I
Okay.
was the only person that finished that book.
Oh, really?
And it's 800 pages long, and I didn't even like it.
Oh, man.
And so after that, I was like, I'm not doing this again. These are the books that I am reading. It's
Yeah.
my summer. I'm reading what I want to read.
Yeah. If you want to come with me, great. If
If
not,
you want to come with me
forget
on
it.
this journey,
Yeah.
I would love to talk to you about these books.
Right.
I am not accepting input at this time.
Yeah. Right?
But that's why I did it that way.
That's
is
kinda
because-
cool, though.
Because I don't want to have to wait to read what I want to read.
Right.
I don't want to have to wait to like meet up with people about whatever.
Right.
Like it was just a lot of coordinating for like not a great amount of payoff.
Yeah.
To do it the traditional way.
Right.
And I think maybe if you like run a business that like you already have a space and you can just do a book club there, like it's all cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was too much work for too little payoff.
Right.
So that's
Right.
why I was just like, this is what I'm reading. You can read with me if you want
Nice.
to.
Okay.
But I did. have a couple folks. One of my friends read Hunger Games with me.
Okay. Was it their first time?
It was their first time.
Nice.
So they had seen the movies, but they hadn't read the
Okay.
books.
Okay.
And one of my friends also read the Dungeon Crawler Carl books with me, which are super fun.
Never heard of it.
They're so fun.
Sounds almost like a children's book.
So it's called a lit RPG.
Okay.
And so it's like a video game, but written like a book.
Really?
Yeah, but it's a dungeon crawler.
That doesn't sound enjoyable.
It's super funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the premise is that there's aliens, and the aliens harvest other planets for resources, and it's Earth is getting harvested.
Okay. So it's a true story.
True story.
Okay.
Real life true story. And so the aliens collapse all of the buildings and cars and structures on the Earth, and anyone that's inside dies.
Okay.
Anyone that's outside is still alive. But they won't be for long because the aliens are about to start harvesting all of the resources. So the aliens have created a video game dungeon under the surface of the Earth. And all of the humans that are still alive can go into the dungeon and try to battle their way to freedom. While it's being recorded by the aliens and broadcast as a reality television show across the universe.
Okay.
And so the main character goes into the dungeon with his ex-girlfriend's cat. Unknowingly. Like, he doesn't know all of these rules, right? His house just collapsed.
Yeah.
He's got a cat and a portal opens. He
Right.
goes in, and then this voice is like, welcome to level 1 of the dungeon. Here are the rules. And then his cat, like, picks up a tiara, and now she's sentient and she can talk.
Okay.
And so now they've got to, like, go killing goblins and collecting dynamite. And
It feels like at that point it should become a choose your own adventure book.
it feels really choose your own adventure.
Okay.
And it's fun in the way that a choose your own adventure book is. So that one was a really fun read. And there's actually like 7 books in the series.
Say it again. What's the title?
Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Super fun.
Okay. I don't read as much anymore as I used to. I wish I did.
Yeah.
Someday when I have more time. I've been saying for years now, but someday. I mean, our youngest is 15, going on 16, so maybe eventually, we'll be empty nesters, and then I'll have more reading time, but we'll see.
Someday.
Right. Exactly. But then our oldest is pregnant, so we got.
Congrats.
Thank you.
To her.
So we got grandbaby coming, so in December, so that'll be a whole new world opening up of that whole deal. So
Maybe you can just start reading children's books.
oh, I'm totally gonna read children's books with my grandkids. Yeah, I already have a list of books that I want to, books that I read to my kids too. I love reading to my kids.
Important books. It's foundational. Like,
yes. Like. Here's some
I mean,
examples.
for me,
yeah, like what would you call
the Chronicles
foundational?
of Narnia
Oh, nice.
are foundational books to me. I mean, like, I have a tattoo
Really?
of one of the original illustrations from the Chronicles of Narnia.
Which illustration?
So it's in The Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Okay.
The bird that brings the fruit
Yeah.
to the dying star.
Okay,
that
yeah.
He eats and it makes him a day younger. I
Yeah.
have that bird tattooed on my back.
Interesting. Okay.
So the Chronicles of Narnia for sure.
Okay. All right.
The Giver.
Oh, good one.
Fabulous.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So good.
Yeah.
The rest of the books in the Giver series, not necessary.
Yeah. See, I have only
tried
read
to
the first
reread-
one, and my daughter had read all of them, and my son also, I think, read all of them, and they said the same thing. It's just not the same. Because don't they like bounce in time?
Yeah. They're also it's really strange to me because I did just reread them over this last summer. And it's like The Giver is written at, I would say, like a 9th or 10th grade level.
Okay.
I mean, maybe lower. It can be read by younger kids, but like I still enjoyed it as an adult, and I wasn't like, oh, I'm reading children's literature.
Okay.
The rest of the books in the series feel like you're reading children's literature.
I wonder if that was on purpose.
I don't
Like,
know.
I wonder if was it Lois Lowry, right? She wrote
Yeah.
that. I wonder if she was like, she wrote this book that wasn't really for kids, The Giver.
Yeah.
But then it just appealed to kids, or it became something that was required reading, maybe in high school, or I don't remember what grade that came in. And then it got so popular in that way, she's like, okay, so I'm going to continue the series now, but I'm going to gear it towards children, So, yeah. But anyway. So the last thing I just say is, like, I know we've already talked about some of your favorites, but and you can use some of the same ones, but just like a top 5. So we got, what, Bruce Springsteen.
Do I have 5?
I hope so. You can do it.
I don't think I can.
No?
I don't think I can narrow it down that much.
Okay. Well, then, give me as many as you can, then. So they're the same ones? Bruce Springsteen
and John Hiatt, for
John
sure.
Hiatt, okay.
Like, those are things I always go back to.
Okay.
And that I, like, stand behind.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll stick with that, then.
I feel like to be representative, like, there's a female artist that I'm missing.
Oh, there is. Some feminist you are.
I know.
You and your 2 guys.
I know. Freaking the white male Western canon.
Yeah, wowzers.
I mean, I do listen to a lot of Taylor Swift.
Well, see, I could add a lot to that one. I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan. My older daughter also got me into Taylor Swift. And whenever the new albums come out, we listen and we discuss it and the whole deal. So what's your favorite, like, era of...
1989, for sure.
That's my favorite, too. Most people say Red, but I like 1989 a lot.
They're wrong.
Okay. So that was her first full pop album, right?
Yeah.
Because Red was kind of touch and go. A little bit kind of poppy country.
And I like the older stuff, too.
I love
like
her first album.
Stuff.
Her first album to me is just, I love the songwriting on it, and the songs are so, like, innocent and, like, I love it.
I also, like, I love Bonnie Raitt.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Bonnie Raitt?
Yeah.
See, I don't know a whole lot of her songs. I know, let's give them something to talk about.
That's a good one.
That's like the only one. I think there might be, 2 or 3 more that I would recognize, but... Okay.
And Nico Case. I love Nico Case.
Okay. Now, she was in a band that I know, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I know she's more successful as a solo, but she was part of a band that I really like, and I can't remember.
I got to see to see her at the Fremont, and that was really, really cool.
Okay.
Because she played with it was like Nico Case and something.
Yeah.
But I think they were like her sisters, but they did a bunch of just like weird Appalachian choral stuff.
Yeah.
And it was really cool, and her voice is so incredibly powerful.
Right.
Like, wild. And I got to see John Hiatt at the Fremont as well.
Oh, dang. That's cool.
That was great.
I'm looking her up real quick because it's going to kill me if I don't remember the name of the band that she was in. I think it was very short-lived. It was Cub. Have you heard the band Cub? Oh, you should check him out. She's not the vocalist.
Interesting. Okay, I will.
But Cub is a kind of underground Bay Area, kind of poppy punk band, all female. Very cool.
Yeah.
I think you might dig it.
I just love that she does what she wants to do.
Right.
And a lot of the stuff that she does isn't mainstream, but she's so incredibly talented that like she puts her own stink on.
Nice.
Like all the projects that she does.
There you go.
So.
To where you can just tell she's in there somewhere.
So there's 5.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
There's 5.
You did it. See, you said you couldn't do it.
5.
We're passing boundaries here on the Why Can't We Talk About That
boundaries.
podcast. That's right. You are just, man, you're ready to rock. Okay, so politics is next, and I know you're wondering where to go there.
Everybody's favorite topic right
But
now.
I mean, you mentioned a few things that would qualify as that. A few of them being like the death penalty or abortion. Like these are obviously hot topic issues that we probably will not see eye to eye on.
Yeah, they have been for a while.
What's that?
They have been.
What?
Hot topic issues.
Oh, well, yeah.
For a while.
Of course. Yeah. And I mean, something like abortion is going to be a hot
really
topic
divisive.
forever, really. Yeah. Because people, no matter what side of the fence you're on, you're passionate for your side.
Yeah.
Right? But what I do find interesting is that I feel like the argument from each side is different. To where, I mean, you tell me if you agree with this. I feel like the argument from the pro-choice is more of a feminist argument. Like you kind of said earlier, my own autonomy for my own body, my body, my choice is kind of a mantra that's spoken around pro-choices. Yeah. And to where the pro-life side is more about, it's murder, right? You're killing a baby, to where maybe not all pro-choice, but some would say, well, that's not a baby, it's this. And see, that's where kind of all the nuances come in, because on both sides, there's different views on all that. Like, when does life begin? Is it life? And then some on pro-choice would even say, no, it is a baby, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with
Yeah.
killing the baby. And others would say, no, it's okay because it's not a baby. And you know what I mean? That there's
Yeah.
a lot of differences in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
There's a lot of approaches.
Yeah. Yeah.
To it.
Yeah. So you're obviously pro-life. I can tell you.
Yeah. Pro-life. I mean. Was it my keep abortion safe and legal
I didn't even see that
sticker?
Yeah, I didn't even see that. Is that a topic you're willing to go down or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean...
Yeah. Because I know we're going to disagree, but I can promise you I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to...
Yeah, no, I won't get mad either. I think it's just, like I mentioned earlier, like there's a certain level of exhaustion. Mm-hmm. Or I'm just like, are we still talking about this?
Yeah.
And I do think, like, what you said was that there's the feminist argument that my body, my choice.
Yeah.
And I would, I guess, make a slight adjustment to that.
Sure.
That, like, I look at it differently. It is a feminist issue, yes, because it affects a lot of women. But it's also a humanist issue, and I don't even look at it from the perspective anymore. I think I used to. I think when I was younger, I don't really look at it as like women should have autonomy over their bodies. I look at it as people should have autonomy over their bodies.
Right. But you realize that the pro-life side would agree with that statement. You realize that
from their perspective, but I don't think a fetus is a person, and that's just
right.
It's not just my opinion; it's also the opinion of science and medical professionals.
Which is interesting because a lot of even pro-choicers would say that science now, the new what they're looking at shows it is like sperm to egg is a life.
Right.
It's not a baby.
Sure.
Is that kind of where you're going? Like,
but then there's also like, is a sperm by itself alive?
No. Well, yes, it's alive, but it's not a life.
Right. So, like, how far back can we outlaw masturbation then?
No. I don't think so.
Why not?
Well, because I think the life...
Because it's not possible.
My
perspective.
perspective...
Because it's not enforceable?
You have to have the sperm and the egg. It takes both. Which is part of the argument for the my body, my choice thing, in a sense. And I'm not going to sit here and try to say that the man's part is harder, because it's not. The women's job is much harder in childbearing and the whole deal. I'm not even going to try to argue that. Our job is the fun part.
Then what defines life for you? Is it is it having 46 chromosomes? Where do you draw the line between an individual zygote and a blastocyst?
Well, the distinction is just in development. That's the distinction between those two things, but I think they're both alive. I think, if I'm again, my terms are correct here. You said a zygote, which a zygote is a fertilized egg, right? Right. So if it's a fertilized egg, then I would say that is life from that moment. Now the egg
even
that the woman,
even though it doesn't have a nervous system.
Correct.
Even though it's not sentient.
Right. Yeah, that's my view.
Does your belief tie into the concept of a soul?
I do believe in a soul, yes, but I don't think that's not my bearing. I mean, okay, so I guess if you're asking, do I think that sperm to egg and that start of a development has a soul, then I would say yes. What's the difference
between two independent zygotes, a sperm and an egg, which are both alive but don't represent a human life, and then the moment that they're joined, they become a human life? What's the difference?
That it's human life.
Sure, but why?
Why?
If there's no heartbeat, if there's no sentience, if there's no nervous system, then what is the difference for you that makes it go from being not a life to a life in that moment?
Well,
I'm trying to drill down.
Yeah, I got you.
What's the
I
difference?
got you. But I can probably answer that better with saying, would you at least agree that it's a potential life? Even though I would say it is a life, would you say it's potential?
For me personally, it's no more of a potential life than an egg cell or a sperm cell separately.
Okay. But I guess the reason
I also don't care.
Right. At least you're honest.
For me personally.
Yeah, at least you're honest.
This isn't the point of difference for me. I'm just trying to understand.
No, I got you.
For you.
I got you for sure. But I mean, I feel like if it's, I say potential life because no matter what stage of development, let's say sperm to egg in this case, right? The first beginnings of fertilization of the egg. That, unless there's some problem or issue or some medical emergency or something, that is eventually going to become a baby, unless we stop it, or if it naturally stops itself in ways that we are beyond our control, like a miscarriage or things like that happen outside of our control, which is not the same as an abortion. Some people say that it's the same. The difference is one is in your control and one's not. But that's why I would say that I think that's definitely, if it's not a life, then why would we have to stop it? If it was dead, it would just stay dead, right? It wouldn't continue to grow and to mature and to become me and you sitting here talking, because we all started there, right? You and I both started there at some point. So that's kind of why I would say, because I think scientifically even that's when life begins, and I do think that's when a soul is also put into the physical body. Personally, but I mean, I don't know. I'm open to.
I'm not gonna try to change your mind. But I'm just coming from the perspective of like, I don't even believe in the concept of a soul. So,
okay.
Like none of this is
okay. Which goes back to your nihilist, your benevolent nihilist. Okay.
I mean, for me, it just comes down to the fact that people should have agency over their own bodies.
But I would agree.
Yeah.
Right, but we're saying different things, that's all.
But what do you do when those two things are in contention, right? Like when you have a pregnant woman or a pregnant person that doesn't want to be pregnant.
Right.
And from your perspective, the fetus, we're going to presume that the fetus wants to be alive and continues living, even though we have no way of knowing that.
Sure.
And so now we have two souls, as from your viewpoint.
Right, yes.
That have contentious desires. I personally think that to force someone who doesn't want to be pregnant is torture. And I think that's unethical.
Right.
Period.
So, I would agree. Again, I would agree, but I think where we would draw the line is that I would say that the only forcing to become pregnant would be in the case of rape. Because we all know what the chances are. I mean, there's ways to protect yourself. There's just not having sex is a possibility.
I think that's the most violent and the most obvious example. But what about marital rape? What about countries that are not like ours, where 11-year-old girls are married against their will? And I'm just trying to think of like the most abhorrent.
Well, but the key is against their will,
right? Like
which
to
in
a
a marital rape
person
is the same, or an 11-year-old being forced into a marriage when they're 11 is also not voluntary.
But marital rape or countries where you have 11-year-olds being married to 40 or 50-year-old men, and it's not necessarily against their will, but it's because they've been socialized that way.
Yeah, they don't know any better.
They don't know any better, right? Does that make it okay?
No.
Does that make it not rape?
In my opinion, no. It's still... Well, I would probably have a hard time calling it rape, but from what we're talking about as far as abortion...
They don't have the ability to give educated consent.
Sure.
In the way that we would view educated consent.
Right. But I think the issue that I come to, though, is that those kind of situations are probably the minority, right? You'd agree with that? Minority of abortions that are done in the country. Or rape.
In our country.
Right. Yeah. Well, we're just talking about our country, really.
Are we?
Right now,
okay.
Yeah. As far as abortion goes, I think the laws... Because you were talking about states that don't have autonomy for your body and that kind of thing. So
I mean, when I think about it, though, like, I don't think about, like, abortion should be safe and legal in our country. I think abortion should be safe and legal, period. Right.
Well, exactly. Well, like, that would be like if I'm pro-life,
everywhere.
I'm like, well, I think it should be everywhere too, right? So, I mean, yeah, obviously it's broader than that, but I mean, I think what affects you and me on the day-to-day, it affects you, because I'm never going to need to have an abortion. Right. So it's not really, but I mean, it would affect me if my wife wanted to, or my girlfriend or whoever, that would affect me.
Sure.
Right? So And I've seen those. What do you think of those videos? I'm sure you've seen those, like at the Planned Parenthood or wherever some of the places where they're doing the abortion, where the father of the child wants the baby, and she wants to give it up, and he's like weeping over it, and he's telling her basically, look, you never have to see us again, ever. Just we'll leave you alone, but just don't kill my baby, basically. And then she does it anyway. But do you have any sympathy for him at all, or are you like
sympathy? Sure.
Yeah. But you think it's 100% her right to okay, and that's just because it happens to be in her body.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think people should get to decide what happens in, on, and around.
Right.
Like, you know.
Yeah, and I agree.
Very close to
of course.
their bodies.
But I agree with that. I think up to maybe the conception, right?
Yeah.
Up to, because I think a woman should be able to decide who she's going to sleep with, or if she's not going to. If somebody forces that on her, that's a totally different story, right? That's a different scenario. But I think it takes the male and the female to create the child. And again, I know the woman's part of that is much more difficult. Mm-hmm. But you would say that the child is equally theirs, right? But you would say that she has the right to end its life over his. Over his right to do so. Mm-hmm. Okay. And do you feel like with abortion, is there what's your limit? Like, is there a certain age where you're like, okay, not okay at that point? Or is it straight up to 9 months?
I don't have a limit.
Okay.
I don't have a limit.
So you'd say 9 months.
And I truly believe that if we had safe legal abortions everywhere, then that question would no longer be a problem.
Explain.
I think that most, women aren't waiting until 8.5 months to make that decision. It's usually a question of access. Having to...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So when they happen that late, you're saying that's because it's happening in places that are not safe.
Or because we don't have adequate health care in this country. Mm-hmm. Because you can't make an appointment.
That's something we can agree on.
Right? That's not the preference of women who are scheduling these things.
Yeah.
I would hazard to guess.
Okay.
But I truly believe that if people had consistent, safe access to abortive care, right, then that wouldn't be a problem.
Wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
But you don't have an issue with it anyway.
I don't have an issue with it anyway.
But you would how about after birth? Do you have an issue then? I'm just trying to feel where you're at.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So you know what my next question is then, right? Like what?
Is it
let's see if you can guess.
The immodest proposal.
I don't know. Is that what it's called?
Immodest proposal.
I don't know. My question always after that is, then what's different? Like, let's say the mom's 9 months pregnant. She's literally getting ready to give birth.
I was just going to say,
and the baby is 2 hours old. So what's the difference on one side of the birth canal to the other?
I don't think there really is, except for me at that point, the childbearing is already done. Okay. Right? So, you could just put it up for adoption at that point. There's no reason to abort it. Right. I also, to be clear, would love to live in a world where men's and women's healthcare education was equal, and that women and people who are capable of getting pregnant had enough information and access to healthcare to recognize when they're pregnant at an early stage in their pregnancy. Okay. But that's not the world that we live in. Okay. So what do you mean by that? Medical education, medical research, all of the healthcare information that we have, for the most part, up until about the last 20 years, all of that research has been conducted on men. There's very little that we know about women's bodies, and as a result of that, as well as puritanical values and the Madonna versus whore complex that's embedded in our cultural ethos, women's bodies aren't discussed, and we're not educated about how our bodies work, all the way from menstruating to menopause. So you think at this point there's less known about the female anatomy? Yeah. Okay. And if we had more comprehensive access to healthcare and more comprehensive education about how our bodies work, I think that more people would be able to recognize when they're pregnant at an earlier point in time.
Okay. So do you think that's true even of our country? You think
I think that is very true. And this I'm speaking specifically about our country.
Like, you think there's a lot of women that don't have access to knowing whether they're pregnant or not? Like, because kind of the normal standard is, I'm a couple weeks late, and then you go to the...
There are so many people out there that don't understand, like, basic reproductive health things.
Mm-hmm. Like, even how to get pregnant? Like, you think people are getting pregnant without realizing, I didn't know that was going to happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, like...
Could you throw a percentage on that of the country?
I couldn't throw a percentage on that.
Okay.
But I could give you, like, some anecdata.
Okay. That's I like that. I never heard that before. Did you make that up?
No, I am not that
Anecdotal data becomes anecdata.
Yeah, so it's just like me telling you a story that proves my point, but I don't have, like, hard facts behind it.
Okay.
But, like, women thinking that they can just take their birth control pill after they've had sex and use it as plan B.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not smart.
No.
Yeah.
But, like, thinking that's how you're supposed to use it.
Right.
Thinking that using 2 condoms is better than using 1 condom.
Right.
Thinking that douching after you have sex can prevent pregnancy.
Really?
It is the year 2025.
Yeah. Right.
And these are still things that adults think. Yeah.
So you say anecdotally, so you've talked to adults.
I have had these conversations with actual human beings, yeah.
So what you're saying is the sex education needs to be...
Is lacking.
Better.
Significantly lacking.
It needs to be better and more widespread.
Yeah.
Okay. And would you say that's demographic? Like, parts of the country are better than others? Or because I know we went through sex ed. I knew all that stuff.
I don't get to talk to people that live in other states. I don't really get to talk to a whole lot of people outside of my socioeconomic demographic.
Okay. But these are things you know. Right, yeah. You would know. There was never a time where you didn't know that stuff, right? At least it was you started coming into.
There was a time.
Like when you were really little, or like. Yeah. But by the time you were.
Also have to, like, again, this is who I am, right?
Right.
Like, I do research.
Sure.
I research going on dates.
Right.
Create data sets.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I do. When I started having sex as a teenager, like, I learned everything I needed to learn.
Right.
To feel confident in my knowledge that I knew.
And you're saying not everybody is that way.
Not everyone operates the way that I do.
Right.
Most people don't operate the way that I do.
So for people that don't operate the way you do, you wish there was a more broad kind of teaching on that area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I wish it was less broad. I wish it was more specific.
Right.
I wish it was much more detailed.
Okay.
And much more specific. And
okay.
I don't know, like, the way I don't have a lot of hope or faith about the direction our educational system is going.
Yeah.
At the current moment.
Yeah. Me neither, but it's probably for different reasons. I'm willing to bet.
I just feel like in general, all of it's pretty bad right now.
Right.
Dismantling the Department of Education is...
Oh, I was going to say, are you for that or against that then?
Against it!
Oh, so you think that's... Okay, so what you're saying is that's the direction it's going that you're against.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
Okay.
I think it's bad.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think it's real bad.
Yeah. But do you think the Department of Education has been going in a like, let's say since you were a kid 20 years ago, you were 17, 20 years ago, that you think it's gotten better or worse since then? Do you think it's heading in a good direction or in a worse direction?
I mean, it depends on where you are.
Okay.
I also think that some of this stuff I think is out of the DOE's hands. Like COVID causing like huge learning dips and gaps.
Because kids are out of school, you mean?
Because kids were out of school, or because kids were being educated remotely, or because of the rise of artificial intelligence and its less than covert use in educational spaces.
Yeah. That stuff's gnarly, man.
Dude.
I cannot believe how crazy that stuff is. Like, when I started playing with it recently, just like, wow, look at that's amazing. Like, it's even blowing my mind.
It's also terrible for the environment.
Yeah. For the artificial intelligence? How so?
It takes a massive amount of energy and water to run those machines.
Yeah.
Like 10 or 20 times the ecological cost of a Google search.
Yeah.
Just so that folks don't have to make their own grocery lists.
Right. Well, who wants to do that?
hate it.
I mean, come on.
I hate it.
Who wants to make a grocery list? Look, you just AI. Tell me what I want to eat. You know, you tell me. Find the recipes, give me the ingredients, and then cook the dinner for me too. While you're
I'm
at.
also like a grown up who every day is confronted with the same question
Oh yeah.
of what we're gonna eat for dinner, and I'm just
yeah.
exhausted by it. I'm
Your boyfriend
exhausted
asked you
by
that?
it. No, I usually ask my boyfriend.
Oh, what
and
you're
then
gonna
he's like, I don't care, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. See. That's why I am too. I'm like, babe, whatever you make or whatever we get was good. You know. Does he cook? Your boyfriend?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty wild though.
Wild, like not very often, or wild, like he makes wild things.
He makes wild things. He makes wild.
Well, that's fun. Never know what you're gonna get. You know, it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, I mean, he'll make like a normal meal if I ask him to.
Okay.
Sometimes I see the stuff he makes. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
Do you guys mostly eat at home though, or do you eat out?
We
a lot?
mostly eat at home. I mostly
Okay.
do like a lot of meal prep during
Okay.
the week because we both work.
Okay.
5 days a week, so
Nice.
like I'll prep our breakfasts and our lunches.
Okay. Well, there you go.
But yeah, I don't like AI. I don't like it one
But
bit.
back to like the COVID and the lockdowns and all that. So do you think that, I guess the first question is, do you think that was a good thing to lock down the country and keep kids out of school? I mean, I know you can see the...
Yes.
Okay. Even though you can see the bad qualities, you think it was necessary at the time?
Yes.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
think COVID was as real a threat as they made it out to be, or do you think there was some potential...
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, people were dying.
Sure.
Lots of people were dying.
Yeah. But what do you think about when they look at statistics and they show like people that die of the flu that we just never... They don't show us those statistics really because that's just so normal. It seems
Sure.
like they pumped up the COVID thing to make it sound like that was like way, 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 way worse.
My takeaway is not... It sounds like my takeaway is not the same as yours.
Yeah, I bet. I'm gathering that too. That's why I'm asking you.
The flu is something that we already had vaccines for.
Right.
So people already have the option to opt in to an added layer of protection or not.
Right.
Which isn't something that people had the opportunity to do with COVID.
Right.
It was also something that in the beginning had incredibly high rates of death and an incredibly high R naught factor or a contagion factor. So I think to make the cautious decision to lock the country down or to lock the state of California down for 6 weeks was fine.
Okay.
I had no problems with that.
Okay. But even after the fact, you didn't see anything come out after the fact where you kind of feel like maybe there was some... I'm not a conspiracy guy, first of all. At
I'm
all.
really not a conspiracy theorist either. And
But some of that stuff was kind of wild to me that even Fauci was saying after the fact was kind of like, oh yeah, we lied about that. Oh yeah, we fudged the truth a little bit on that one.
Yeah, but I
You
also
know?
like I work in a department of public health and I understand erring on the side of caution.
I do too. And that's why I agree. When it happened, I might have done the same thing just
Yeah.
because we didn't know any better.
And you also
Right.
have to phrase things in a certain way to get the public to listen. Like they don't
Yeah.
understand. They
Right.
don't speak science.
Right.
They don't
Yeah.
anymore. And
Yeah.
it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
Some
you
would argue
have
that
to-
Fauci doesn't either, but
Right. Some would argue. But you have to phrase things in a certain way,
Yeah.
like very simple command statements that aren't actually representative of the subtlety of how much information you have at a certain point in time, how much information you don't have. And
Yeah.
in general, I trust experts and I trust scientists to do their jobs.
right.
I trust politicians less.
Right. I don't
And
trust
less
any
and
of them.
less
Yeah.
the older I get. But I still don't have a problem with the decisions that were made.
Like in 2020.
In 2020.
Okay. See, and I probably could agree with that. Again, like in like looking at it then,
Yeah.
like again, putting myself in that position, I'm like, okay, like here's this thing that's happening. Whether the information we're getting is accurate or not, I'm not going to be like, well, I'm going to assume it's not accurate, and I'm just
Yeah.
going to do and then all these other people die, and it's on me.
Yeah.
That's scary. That's a scary place to be. So I would
Yeah.
probably err on the side of caution too. that's the same reason why I also appreciate a lot of the people that came out after the fact and at least admitted that. Said, look, we erred on the side of caution. The data and the science was showing now, in hindsight, that maybe that wasn't the best choice, but
it was the best choice that we could make.
It was the only choice we knew to make that was going to potentially save lives, right?
Yeah.
So I can, on one side, say, yeah, I get it. I get why they made that choice. But then, just like any choice, right? We all have that in life. So I understand why I made that choice when I was 17. But in hindsight, probably wasn't the best choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but we don't know. We don't have the info until after the fact.
Until later. Yeah.
Right. So.
And I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
And I also don't think for me that it makes people less trustworthy when they get more information later about something and then change their stance.
I love that. And that's what I hate. That's one of the things I hate about politics.
Then people...
You can't trust this guy. Look, he changed his view after 10 years ago. Good.
Yeah.
He learned and he moved on. I mean, why? Yeah, but look what this guy said 30 years ago. He doesn't believe that anymore. But he believed it once, therefore I can't trust him. What the heck does that... You know what I believed 30 years ago?
Yeah.
Totally different than what I believe today, you know? So it's like, we're supposed to change and learn and grow, and that's life, right? But then, you're right, there's some people that are just like, I can't ever admit I'm wrong, and I'm just gonna... This is what I've always believed, I'm sticking by it. Well, that's been scientifically proven wrong 30 years ago. I don't care, I've always believed it, I'm standing on it. Well, then you've got problems, buddy.
Yeah. So, I mean, Maya Angelou is like, when you know better, do better.
Yeah.
And
right.
Like once you have new information or you have more information, then you can adjust, and we open things back up and we figure all that stuff out.
Life is learning, I would say, right? I mean, even on an individual level, again, like look back when you were a kid, you probably are way different now than when you were at 17 because you've learned since then, you know?
But it also, like, even before the COVID gap in our educational process, like, things have been declining.
In the yeah, I agree.
So I don't think it was just COVID.
Right.
I think it's a combination of things.
Okay.
And I think most of them are cultural.
Okay.
I don't really know how much of it the Department of Education has control over or input on, but I largely think it's things like the rise of social media.
For sure. Totally.
And like just Reels and TikToks and how our attention span is being condensed.
Yep.
And
well, they've done studies on that.
they have done studies.
Kids now have got no attention span at all.
Well, so, and the real, one of what I think is the real problems about it is when your attention span is reduced that significantly, you don't have the ability to comprehend complex thoughts because you don't have the time to get through an entire paragraph before you stop paying attention.
Right.
And when we stop being able to hold two like conflicting beliefs in our head at the same time, that's when we lose the ability to talk to one another rationally about things that we disagree with, right? Like, I can hold in my head that this is what I think about abortion and this is what Ryan thinks about abortion.
Right.
And I can look at both of those things and be like, okay, this is where we agree. This is where we overlap. This is where we disagree. I can look at both of those things and see that those viewpoints are valid for you as they're valid for me.
Right.
I still think you're wrong.
Sure. But we can still be friends and we can still have a discussion about it.
But we can actually talk about it instead of just yelling, you're wrong at each other.
Right.
And we can look at the nuance of those arguments.
Yeah.
But if you don't even have the attention span to sit and compare two different sets of ideas,
right,
you're hosed.
And see, and that's always been, I shouldn't say always. I would say always. I need to stop saying always. The latter part of my
make
life.
Absolute statements.
I know. Stop it. Yeah, exactly. But like I say, a big portion of the latter part of my life thus far, I've held to the philosophy of I have my beliefs. I have them for a reason. I have them because I've thought deeply about them. I've researched, I've looked, and I've come to these conclusions. However, I am 100% open to being wrong. I'm 100% open to changing my view. But it's going to have to be more than somebody telling me, well, Ryan, you're dumb. What you believe is dumb. That's not going to do it for me.
It's not really a nuanced argument, is
right?
it?
You know what I'm saying? So it would have to be like, well, for example, to bring back to the abortion thing, if it was proven that it's not a life until 9 months, let's say, then I would probably jump on the pro-choice side.
Yeah.
I really would. I'd be like, okay, well then you're just killing nothing. There's nothing. You're not killing anything. There's no death. There's nothing. It's over.
I don't think we'll ever get to that point, though, because it's a semantic argument about how you define life.
Right, but I mean, that's what I'm talking about, like proof.
Yeah.
Like if there was like definitive, like if there was like something similar to an X-ray, let's say for the sake of the argument that a soul exists. I know you don't believe that, but let's say it does. And there was a machine that you could actually see inside someone and see the soul in there. And then we started using that in sonograms or whatever.
Yeah.
And we looked at it and we said, oh, well, there you go. At 3 months on the dot is when the soul enters the body of the baby. Right? Sure. Then we could say, okay, well, there you go. So any abortions before 3 months were good. Any ones after, no. You see what I'm saying? It would have to be something. But you're probably right. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
What you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever going to be like that black and white, for sure. So.
And I also think that, like, in a crazy world where souls are a real thing.
We're in a crazy world.
And we have a soul ray that can see them, like an X-ray.
Yeah, right.
Maybe you, Ryan, would change your mind. I don't think most people would change their mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's kind of what I was getting at before. Like with
that's
abortion.
What I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's ever going to...
Well, because it depends. But then at that point, you would have the people, which even today with the pro-choice, some of them, not all of them, because I've talked to many of them, even on here, that would say that, yeah, we know it's a life, and that's okay. We think it's okay to kill a life in order for whatever their reasons are, right? So, yeah, there's that whole crowd that would say, yeah, we've always known it was a life at that point. That doesn't change our views at all.
Yeah, I mean,
but there's probably
right,
exactly. But there's probably a significant amount of maybe pro-choice people that do hold to the kind of the clump of cells argument of saying, it's not a life, it's nothing. It's no different than having your appendix removed or whatever. All the different things that they'll say there. And to where I'm saying, yeah, if that's true, sign me up. Yeah, I had my appendix out. I don't feel like I was morally wrong. I mean, if that's what an abortion is, then hey, I don't.
Just having a bit cut off.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we don't need to rehash that. We already beat that horse to death. That's a dead horse at this point.
Dead horse. Do you have a wrap up politics question?
Wrap up. Well, what do we talk about in politics? Abortion, COVID. Yeah, but we're going on 3 hours, so we should probably do something to wrap it up. What else did you mention? Let's go back to death penalty. You want to go there a little bit? Or no? No thoughts?
No,
Okay.
I want to move on.
I want to move on from the death penalty. Okay.
Like I said before, I just don't trust our government enough.
Okay. Well, I don't either.
Because, I mean, that's another thing where you think about, like, well, you're anti-death penalty, but you're pro-choice.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I don't really have a problem with causing people to die.
Okay.
I just don't think the government should be the one to decide that.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone should be the one to decide that.
Okay, so no people should be allowed to decide that. I would say, what about a God figure? But we haven't got there yet.
I don't think those exist.
Right. So then nobody ever has.
Yeah.
But you think those people should be put away forever?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Let's say you commit rape one time. Do you think that should be life without parole? Or do you think there's a second chance even for people? Because my problem is a lot of those people, they let them out and they rape more women.
Right. I am fully aware of that.
Yeah.
And this is really where I have to, like, battle with myself. Because there's a part of me that wants to say that evil isn't an absolute. That people are in, like, and this is the problem, and I might, like, cry a little bit.
Yeah. That's okay on here. People do that from time to time.
I want so badly to believe that people are inherently good. Mm-hmm. But time and time again, the world that we live in makes it incredibly difficult to believe that.
Sure.
And so I can't even comprehend the level of violence it would take to rape somebody.
I can't either.
Like, it is a completely alien thought process to me. Or even assault somebody.
Right.
Like, to full-on punch somebody in the face, let alone to stab somebody or to shoot somebody. It is not fathomable to me.
I know.
From my perspective.
Right, me either. Or some of the serial killers and some of the stuff they do,
So, like, I think serial killers is easy.
Okay.
Lock them up forever.
Right.
That's easy.
Right.
They've done it a bunch of
Multiple
times. They're
offenses,
gonna keep doing it.
obviously
right?
something mentally screwy there.
Yeah. But, like, I want to believe that everybody can be a good person and can learn to be a good person even if they've made mistakes. Like, I want to believe in redemption.
Sure.
But I can't put myself in the shoes of somebody who would do that, so I have no freaking idea if it's possible or not. Like, I'm a pretty empathetic person, but I can't empathize that far. I can't put myself in that mental state. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
And so that's another thing where I think it's like, you kind of have to err on the side of caution. We either chemically castrate those people that have committed crimes like that. If they want to be re-released into society and they want to have some semblance of a normal life, there have to be guardrails.
See, that would be my next. I know that's how we got talking on the death penalty, and I said to shoot them all into a pit. But that would be my second option, would be to make it physically impossible for them to rape or to commit whatever crime they're committing.
They're doing.
Yeah. Because I guess...
But I also, this is, like, I have huge problems with the for-profit prison system. And so...
Because it gives incentive.
Yeah. So, like, I just don't trust.
Yeah. But I guess that would be the question, like, in a hypothetical, let's say we're going to paint a hypothetical here, where it has been 100% proven that somebody, let's say, raped and murdered 12-year-old girls, let's say. Let's make this the most horrific thing we can think of. And there's no doubt, there is literally zero doubt in this hypothetical. There's no way that this man did not do this. Would you say then death penalty, or would you still be against it?
I'd still be against it.
Okay. So it's beyond what you said then. There's other reasons why you don't want...
Sure, but I also think that, like, if someone has done that many horrible things, and we 100%, without a shadow of the doubt, we know that this person has done it. We've got video evidence, we've got DNA evidence, they've confessed.
Yeah,
they've told us information that only the killer would know.
Right.
Why are we going to give them the sweet, sweet release of death?
See? That's my argument against the death penalty at one point.
Isn't incarceration supposed to be the punishment?
Yes.
And don't they deserve the punishment?
Right.
So why are they just getting to skip to the end of the punishment?
Okay, see, I'm so glad you said that.
Like, I don't even know, like, what I think we should do and what we shouldn't do, but what I want is for it to make sense.
Right.
Make it make sense.
But see, from the nihilist perspective, I'm right there with you. And I was right there with you for years. That's what I said. I said, because I put myself in that spot. I was like, look, if I just die and I'm nothing and it's just gone, I would rather do that than spend 80 years in prison.
Yeah.
I'd just rather die, right? So that was my perspective too, because I used to think that life in prison was a worse punishment than the death penalty. Right? So like you said, the sweet release of death. It's like these guys commit all these crimes, and I know.
Given the state of our prison system.
Right. Right. Yes, that too.
I think it is.
Right. Especially if you got the greens. You can get some pretty good living situation there.
Well, you can, but it's also like you're living in this culture of incredible violence. And social stratification. And like, I don't know, man. The whole thing's depressing.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Do you see any like light at the end of the tunnel kind of stuff, or do you just see
in our prison system?
Well, I guess just as a whole, in people in general, because you said it's really hard to find the good in people, and you really keep getting let down in that area.
I mean, I think it's hard at a large scale. So like what I've been doing recently, is just trying to like think and act more locally than globally. Because I also feel this incredible sense of like powerlessness over where things are going right now, and like the values of the country as a whole, and immigrant rights, which I don't have the capacity to talk about any more than just saying that like it's been weighing heavily on my mind.
Right.
But I've just been trying to lean into community more.
Okay.
And like even just doing this podcast is like participating in community.
Yeah.
Talking with other people, like volunteer. Spend some time volunteering. Find something you care about and go do it. Go clean up a beach. Like do something to make your community better and to strengthen your ties to your community. And I think when you do those things, it's easier to see the positive in the world that's nearer to you, and you recognize that you're not alone in wanting change for the positive.
Yeah.
But at a national scale, it's really difficult to feel meaningful.
Right. To
feel like you're creating any sort of meaningful change.
Well, let me ask you a question, though. Do you feel that is that something that's because of and we don't have to get into this fully, but is that because of the current administration? Did you feel that same way with the last administration as well, or has that changed now?
I felt that way with the last administration, but I would say it's like 20 times worse now.
Okay. So slightly more.
Just a little more. just like a little more.
20 times? That's a big number.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Okay. So the light at the end of the tunnel for you is like 2028. Because then there'll be a new administration. Yeah.
I also think like okay. I want to keep talking about politics.
Let's do it.
I said I don't want
to
keep talking about politics.
Well, then let's not.
But it's also like our system is broken. I truly believe our system is broken. I don't think that the people that are in power at a national level are representative of the common person in our country. And I believe that it is the job of government to improve the lives of citizens. And I don't feel like any of these yahoos.
Okay. You see that on both sides.
Remember that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I think that occasionally they'll do the right thing when everybody's watching. But in general, like everybody's insider trading. Everyone's just making themselves rich.
Yeah.
Everyone is not listening to their constituents and voting the way that they want. Like it's not representative government anymore.
Right.
And I'm sick of it.
Yeah. Well, I think you're with the majority in that
Yeah.
thought. I think that's most of us. We feel, we've been saying the system's broken for years at this point, right?
And I mean, we do have all of these hot topic issues, right? Like we've got abortion going on. We've got the death penalty. We've got all these things. But that's not what people are talking about over the dinner table. Like we're talking about how freaking expensive groceries are.
Right.
And we're talking about being worried about if we're going to lose our jobs to AI.
Right.
And the concerns of our elected officials are not representative of what is actually affecting the quality of life of the majority of American citizens.
Right.
And folks that live in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But something like that, like the economy, though, do you think does that change for you with administrations, or do you think it's always the same?
I think it changes with administrations, but before when you were like, do you lean left or right? And I was like, I lean pretty left, like all the way over to Democratic.
I'm so left, I can't even see right anymore.
But like
it's gone.
And for me, it is about economics. Like nobody needs to have $1 trillion. If you own $1 trillion, you are a bad person.
Wow, that's kind of harsh.
Give it back.
Yeah.
There are people that are starving.
Yeah.
There are people that don't have homes.
Right.
You don't need that much money. What are you doing with it?
Is there a limit there, though? Like what would be the number where you would put people in that category? Millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire
It's
only?
definitely $1 trillion.
Well, okay, so
it might go lower, right?
Well, that's what I was asking. Like, does a millionaire have to be in that category, or just a trillionaire?
I'm not mad at people being successful.
Right.
That's fine. There's always going to be some disparity.
Right.
But here's where I can say I definitely draw the line. More than one yacht.
Yeah.
How about that? Does that seem reasonable? Like, if you already own a yacht, you don't need any more money to make your life better.
Right. Well, I think for most people, need is not the argument that most people would make there.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I'm not trying to
nobody
say, like,
needs
nobody can be successful.
Nobody
Everyone
needs one
should
yacht.
make exactly $87 a year,
Right,
or whatever the
right.
random number is.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen. But, like, we have the massive accumulation of wealth.
Sure.
And where is it going? It's just staying up there.
Right. So you would you support more of a socialist as
100%.
opposed to a capitalist? Okay.
Yep.
You would. Okay. Interesting.
And I know those systems can be corrupted as well.
Sure. When you look into the history of socialist countries and that kind of thing, do you see a big success rate though, or do you think it's kind of?
I think when we look at contemporary democratic socialisms, yes.
Okay.
There is an incredible success rate.
Like what would be some countries that
Denmark.
Denmark, okay.
Germany.
Yeah.
France. Canada. Countries with free healthcare. Wouldn't you like free healthcare?
Would I like it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I want free everything. That'd be great. I wish I didn't have to pay for nothing.
I think everybody.
But the question is, where is it all coming from? See, that's what we get down to. You asked me, do I wish I didn't have to work and everything was free? Well, sure. That's utopia right there. Ryan's a billionaire. What does he do? Nothing. He just sits at home and millions of dollars falls out of the sky into his backyard.
We're one of the richest countries in the world.
Right.
And
And we're capitalists.
Smaller countries with less GDP can figure it out than we can do.
Right.
But I'm done talking about politics. I'm done. That's it. No more.
Okay. I got one more though. I want to ask you this. It's not that political really, but it's just kind of back to what we were talking about. This is kind of, I'm sure you've heard this question before, but it kind of connects the abortion and the COVID. So like with the vaccines, right? A lot of the critics of kind of the my body, my choice would say, well, how come so many pro-choice people that say my body, my choice are okay with a forced vaccination of a COVID vaccine? So I guess I would ask you, first of all, were you for that? Do you think that's something that everybody should have been forced to take, or should have been voluntary, or?
I think it should have been voluntary.
Okay.
And to the extent of my knowledge, the only people that were required to take it were people in the armed forces.
Yeah.
Who already signed their lives away.
Well, a big part of that was because of...
They consented to that.
Correct, but a big...
When they signed their contracts.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry you didn't read the fine print. This is not my problem. Like, you don't get to act like...
Right.
Sorry.
No, but I was going to say, it only didn't go farther because of the backlash.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people that says, no, we're going on strike. We're striking against this. We are not going to let you force us to inject something in our body that we don't even really have a full...
Yeah,
we don't really know about it yet, right?
Good.
I mean,
the system's working as it should.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
They suggested
and I would agree.
something, they got
Okay.
feedback.
All right.
It was unpopular, and
Well, good. That's a consistent answer. I appreciate that.
but I don't feel bad for the people in the military.
No. Because they were forced to take it?
I don't feel like
Because they signed?
You signed your life away.
Okay.
You signed
Yeah.
away your agency when you enrolled
But
in
like
armed
straight
forces.
across the board though? Like, I mean, did they sign away their agency? The fact that if like a sergeant wants to come in and rape one of the people, say, well, sorry, you signed your life away. We can do whatever we want to you.
They sign all sorts of crazy stuff. They are not even allowed to say if they disagree with the president or not.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of this. Is some 1984.
Yeah.
1984 kind of stuff.
there's
going on.
there's a lot of reasons I didn't join the Air Force, but
Oh, were you going to at one point?
no, but they're always trying to recruit you.
Oh.
My parents were in the Air Force. And
Oh, okay. I was wondering why you
got
went Air Force and
free
that.
healthcare, free
There you
college
go.
tuition.
You don't even have to move to Canada.
You also don't have to like think for yourself ever
Right.
again.
That's all. That's all you got to give up.
But anyway, nihilism.
Yes. So break that down for me.
So my spiritual journey
Okay.
is complicated. And so like you said before, is that like I have these opinions, but like there are reasons behind the opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because I've had to ask myself these things. I grew up Catholic.
Okay.
I used to teach Sunday school.
Oh, wow.
And this wasn't like, my parents made me go to church, so I'm Catholic. I went as a teenager. I went to church by myself twice a week.
Like voluntarily?
Voluntarily.
Okay. So you were all in?
I was all in.
Okay.
And then I wasn't. I started having questions.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I was like atheist for a minute. And then I got into paganism.
Okay. What age is this, by the way? Like when you're...
So
would you
up
say
until up until I was like 10, didn't really care.
Okay.
Went to church on Christmas and Easter.
Yeah.
As a preteen, I needed something. I was looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
And the church found me, or I found the church, and I was getting what I needed, which is like stability.
Sure. Yeah.
The Catholic Church is good for that.
Yeah.
Structure.
Right.
You just get to like download a moral code and then you have one.
Right.
Without ever having to think about it. So, and then when I was like 16 or 17, I started having I became aware of global politics.
Sure.
And I began having a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And so I was pretty atheistic for my late teen years. And then like in my early 20s, I got pretty into paganism.
Okay. Like what sect?
Not in like a Satanistic way.
Right.
Just in a very like, there are seasons. There are seasons of life.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think, this is a phase that a lot of white ladies go through. Like, if you've ever read a Philippa Gregory novel and, like, you just wanted to be an apothecary at some point in your life, paganism is for you.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
And this is where we get a lot of, like, white lady yoga teachers with crystals and aligning your chakras and just this, like, hodgepodge of esoteric beliefs.
Yeah.
But really, like, the main governing tenet of my paganism, and I'm gonna swear once,
Yeah.
is do no harm but take no.
Right.
So I also think in the patriarchal society that we live in, there's something very appealing to a lot of women about a spiritual path that centers the wisdom of other women. And it can be really empowering. But as I got further into my 20s and I started doing more yoga and more research about yoga and developed more of an awareness of cultural colonialization, and borrowing from other cultures without honoring, I started to recognize that for me, modern paganism wasn't the answer. It's also just like at a certain point I became cynical enough that I didn't believe in magic anymore. And like the rational parts of me sort of won out over the other parts of me that believe in those things. So now I don't really believe in anything.
Okay. Not magic either?
Not magic either.
Okay. So you're like a humanist.
Pretty much a humanist. And so when I say that being a whimsical nihilist is aspirational, like that's what I aspire to be. As someone with anxiety, everything matters the most all the time, and it's exhausting, right?
Right. Yes, I'm with you.
What brand of milk you buy is a critical decision, and there's 17 things that you have to factor into when you make that purchase. Like, are we getting a half a gallon or are we getting a whole gallon? I want to get whole milk because it tastes better, but we need to get 2% because my cholesterol is a little high.
There's no easy decision.
If we get skim, then we're not going to use it at all, and then we have to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just milk, man.
Yeah.
It's just milk.
Yes. Yes.
And so leaning into the belief that nothing matters is where I want to be.
Okay.
Not in an irresponsible way. Because nothing matters. Like, of course, things still matter, right?
Right. But only on a human level.
On a human level.
How you treat other people, the happiness of being on Earth, that kind of thing. That's the stuff we should be striving for in your view.
Yeah.
Nothing on a other life or what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah. And I don't mean to be dismissive when I say this.
Yeah.
But I don't need to have a higher power or like a everlasting carrot dangled in front of me to be motivated to be a good person.
Right. I would agree with that. I know plenty of atheists that are wonderful people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to be reductive about people's entire faith either.
Right.
But for me, like, it's enough to do something because it's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's ultimately selfish because I get to know that I did the right thing, and that feels good.
Right. But my question for you...
that little, like, zing of moral superiority.
Yeah. You feel like, I did the right thing.
Oh, am I?
Gold star.
Better than everyone else?
Yeah. But, like, how do you know what's the right thing to do? How are you determining that? Like, where does that come from?
Sometimes it's hard. I don't really think it's that hard most of the time.
Like in big things like murder, most people would agree murder is bad.
Most people would agree that murder's bad.
Or rape's bad, like the vast majority of the culture.
Yeah.
But there's probably a place, like you mentioned before, in the world where maybe that is part of the culture. Where we say, no, this is just what we do. We kill people we disagree with. We have sex with women if we want to. We don't care if they want to or not. That's just our culture. To them, it's normal and right and morally good.
Sure.
But you would still say that's morally wrong because you have a morality that's coming from somewhere. Yeah. Right?
I mean, for me, I think the smaller things are much harder.
Yeah, I agree.
The smaller things are much, much harder.
Well, that's why they're smaller.
Nuanced,
that's why they're smaller.
Like your day-to-day decisions of like, oh, how do I be a good friend? Or this is something like as I've gotten older that's been really hard for me is that there have been certain friends that I've had to let go. And it's not because I don't care about them. And it's not because I don't wish them well.
Yeah.
And I still feel bad about it a lot of the time. But like at a certain point, you just don't, you're not aligned with people anymore. And they take a step further and further away. But those decisions have always been much harder for me.
Yeah.
Is it the right thing to stay and continue to support this person as they make the same choice over and over and over again?
Right.
How generous should I be with my time? How generous should I be with my attention? Those things are much harder.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I agree with you completely. I think most would, yeah.
Right. I think what most people would agree are like black and white.
Right.
Like killing is bad,
yeah.
right? Like you shouldn't steal old ladies' purses, things like that.
Yeah. Young ladies' purses are okay though. Just not old ladies.
Well, they can usually chase you down. So like they've got more of a
more defense.
It's more of an even playing ground.
Yeah, that's
there.
True. Yeah.
Shouldn't steal any purses.
That's
Stop
right.
stealing purses.
No stealing purses. Morally wrong.
But then you all, oh man. So then you, okay, what if it's like someone who's obvious, like why do people steal things, right? Why do we have people that feel like they have to resort to that?
That answer is different for everybody.
Why, in one of the richest countries in the world, do we have people that are going hungry? Do we, like, that's more complicated.
It is, and like I said, depending on that's why we have to get specific with that stuff. And so you can't say all the people that are hungry, why are they all hungry? You can't word it that way because the reasons for that they're hungry are all completely different. Yeah. Right? So you'd have to kind of talk to each person, and then maybe after that you could start making groups of, these guys share the same problem here, and these persons have the same problem here. But that's too broad of a scope. Yeah.
It's like killing is just like violence is bad.
Yeah, but that's partly cultural, right? From your kind of know nothing kind of worldview as far as anything beyond the human.
Wow.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Well, that's what you said, right? There's nothing, right? Other than like the human existence is where it stops.
I guess like we do have in the modern world, I think by and large, like most governments have a law against killing, right?
Right.
We do have some ancient societies that were like killing is good. Killing gets you into Valhalla.
Sure, right, and that's kind of my point. Like from where we are,
cultural.
we're living in America. We've been raised here. We've been you were living in even Europe is still, they say killing is bad for the most part, right? Like most places have this idea that murder is wrong. Mm-hmm. But my question is always like, is that strictly just coming from culture? Because if the answer is yes, then we have to assume that culture dictates morality, which is hard, because then you would have to say that
is a hard thing to wrap your brain around, right? Okay, so during the Crusades, this is just a fun story.
Yeah.
During the Crusades, it's a holy war.
Yep.
And like the Christians have the Bible, which says killing is wrong. Mm-hmm. But then you're going out to kill all of these other brown folks, and then you come back, and for every person that you killed in the Crusades, I think you were supposed to do 1 month of penance. Mm. And if you couldn't remember how many people that you killed, you had to do 40 months of penance. But you could take breaks in between your months of penance.
Yeah, but see, that whole thing you just described is wrong.
Show this is cultural.
Sure.
Right? Like, that was fine.
Right.
And now...
But not. I would argue it's not fine.
But to go and to kill the infidel was fine.
To them.
Right. At that point in time, at that point in their culture. But it wasn't so fine that you didn't have to do penance.
There was still punishment involved. Life, right?
And now... I guess it's just more individual. These are more individual spiritual choices. I have no idea how modern day soldiers handle this, and I would assume that they all handle it differently based on their own particular cultures and spiritual beliefs.
Yep.
But yeah, I think spirituality and morality are totally cultural, even though that's kind of like it's an uncomfortable thing to realize about the beliefs that you yourself hold. Mm-hmm. Where you're like, okay, if I was born in a different place or a different time, like, I think we want to believe in this constancy of the self.
Right.
If my parents were transferred to somewhere in the American South instead of to California, would I be a liberal?
Right.
I have no idea.
Right.
I hope so.
Yeah. But see, that's why I would say that not only is it difficult when you talk about like culture dictating morality, it's also like impossible to explain, really, because then it could be flipped and say, well, the culture of Nazi Germany said it was okay, it was morally right to round up these people who were seen as less than and gas them all in the chambers or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But you and I would both sit here and go, no, that's morally wrong. Mm-hmm. But if culture dictates morality, that means no, they're right. But I don't think you'd agree with that. You wouldn't say, yes, they are right, simply because their culture dictates that that's right. So see, that's my point. So like, I believe that morality comes from beyond culture. I think culture is gonna kind of mold and shape some of the way we do things. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, I think morality is beyond us. I think there's a morality that exists outside of us. And I think we all just kind of know. Because I'm sure there was even people within Hitler's army that knew what they were doing was wrong.
Yeah.
Correct. So culture didn't have that impact on them to make them think, oh, no, these are Jews. Let's gas them. They're not people, or back to slavery days. They're just Africans. They're not real people.
This is also just like a huge problem with white folks, right? Is that white supremacist notion, which is wild.
Well, I agree,
but
obviously.
Again,
you're not going to get any fight from me on that statement.
Like, how would I feel about slavery if I were born in the 1600s? I don't know.
But that's my point.
I don't know.
To me, it's irrelevant how you feel about it. Because you're right. You could have been born into a slaveholder's family and your dad or whatever owned slaves on a plantation, the whole deal. And to you, that's normal. You grew up that way. That's just the way it is.
It's not just the way it is. It's my divine right.
Maybe. If that's what you believe in, yeah.
From the historical
perspective. Yeah, if that's what they believe. Yeah, exactly. but I would say that they were incorrect in their understanding of divinity.
I would as well.
Right. Even like the Crusades, they would say, clarify. We're doing this for Jesus.
Yeah.
We're killing all these people for Jesus. And like you said, the Bible says no.
Don't do that.
Correct.
Pretty clearly.
So to me, that's not an attack on Christianity. That's an attack on these idiotic people. It's just like Catholicism. You have these priests molesting little boys. There's nothing in the Catholic Bible that says you should molest little boys.
No.
So what they're doing and criticizing what they're doing is not a critique of Catholicism.
Right.
It's a critique of these stupid men that are doing horribly immoral things.
Yeah.
In the name, maybe, of their supposed religion, but that doesn't mean the religion teaches that.
No, I also don't think that the priests that are molesting young boys are doing it in the name of Catholicism.
Yeah.
They're just sick individuals.
Well, maybe if they let them get married, they could actually have some sexual gratification. They wouldn't have to. Of course, I'm not. What's the word? Oh my gosh, what's the word? I'm not condoning.
Right.
I'm not saying, well, they have a right to do that because they're not married.
It's not their fault.
Yeah, exactly. But by the same token, they might not resort to something like that if they had that, elsewhere.
Yeah, and I mean, like, requiring... I feel like we're way... I mean, not really that off topic. We're still talking about
we are flowing along.
But requiring celibacy of priests is a relatively modern...
Right.
convention, not just within Catholicism, but within like a lot of different sects of Christianity.
Right. And the funniest part about it to me, and I had a discussion with a guy about this one time, is that nice. That's one of the saddest sounds in the world because that means you're getting to the end and it's almost all gone. It's like,
I mean, I enjoyed the whole thing though.
Yeah, I know, but then there's no more. But like from a Catholic viewpoint, Peter was the first pope. Right. This is historically what they would say. Peter founded the Catholic Church. He was the first pope. Well, guess what? Peter was married. Very clearly in Scripture, talks about Peter's wife.
Yeah.
So how do you get to popes should not be married when the guy who is the first pope, according to you, is married? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
The history of the church is super interesting.
Oh, for sure.
And incredibly political.
Right.
But, I don't know, like, when they started not letting them get married, but I'm going to look it up. I'm going to do a weird deep dive on it.
There you go. I got some more homework for you. See? But that's awesome that you do that, though.
But the whimsical part of it, the part of the whimsical nihilism is trying to, like, we all have free will, right? And I think it's really easy to get caught up in, like, our day-to-day routines of, like, I wake up and I get ready for work and I go to work and then I come home and I make dinner and I turn on a show and I watch my show and then I go to bed and then I wake up and I do the same thing every day, forever and ever. And so the whimsical part of that is reclaiming my free will in, like, these small little whimsical ways where it's like, oh, are you going for a walk? You can just sit down and look at a tree. Did you forget that you're allowed to do that? You can just, like, chill for a minute and, like, look at stuff.
But who is that telling you that? Yourself?
Me.
It's your inner soul speaking to you that you don't have? It's your inner mind, maybe? It's your brain?
It's just like, I've got to be here. I might as well enjoy it.
Okay.
I was, like, dragged from the ether to participate in this.
Yeah.
Gesticulating wildly for anyone listening.
Yeah. Since it's only audio, you have to tell them that you're doing
just
it.
Waving my arms around everyone. This. And so just, like, trying to remember that I get to do things on my terms. Everything is really dark and gloomy, but there are, like, these small pockets of beauty and joy, and stopping to enjoy them or create them.
Right. Is that the way you feel about your own existence? Like, do you feel like there's only small pockets of that, and the most of your life you feel like
most of it's drudgery.
Drudgery, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I'm manic.
Right. Okay.
And then everything's great.
Do you feel like everybody is in that boat, or do you feel like people wouldn't agree with that, like, when they describe their own life?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But, like, I'm mentally ill and I mostly hang out with other mentally ill people.
There you go. Birds of a feather, right?
So, like, my perspective might be a little myopic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think some people are better at handling the judgery.
Mm-hmm. But you think everybody has it, though. You just think some people hide it better than others. Like if someone came up to you and said, you know what, I just love life. Everything about life, I just think is the great. Would you think they were full of crap?
I would think that they were stupid.
Okay.
To be completely honest.
Like just mentally incapable of understanding that their life is actually
But also I'd be insanely
drudgery.
jealous of them.
Okay. You wish you were living in their delusion where where everything was great.
Like, what drugs are you taking and where can I get them?
Right. Yeah.
And that's just really cynical of me. Like,
it is a little bit.
I'm a really cynical person.
I gathered that just now in the last 10 minutes.
I've gathered that. I don't like it. It's not fun here.
Okay. You wish you were happier with most. You wish your life had pockets of darkness instead of the other way around, where you seem like there's pockets of happiness and light.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, everything just feels like everything's so hard. Mm-hmm. Like all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It's always been like that for me. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm just like not as good at coping with life as most people are.
Yeah.
But again, I have a brain that doesn't make its own juice.
Right.
Like I have a chemical imbalance in my brain. Mm-hmm. And now that I know that, it's easier to see that and then to create plans like Whimsical Nihilism that sort of help me take control and like do these mini resets all of the time.
Okay.
Because I do still believe in, I mean, it's not whether or not I believe in it. Neuroplasticity is a real thing.
Mm-hmm. What is that? I don't know what that is.
So there used to be this belief that your brain was fluid and plastic and changeable up until you became an adult, and then you were just the way that you were. That's just your brain is fixed. You're done cooking. You're done growing.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks. But neuroplasticity is your brain is plastic, as in moldable and malleable
for your whole life.
For your whole life.
Okay.
And it does require more effort.
Yeah.
At a certain age.
Sure.
To create new neural pathways.
Right. Because
that's the way I think of it. I think of it as like a forest trail. Mm-hmm. And the paths, the thoughts that we think most often are these very like wide paths, and the shrubbery is trimmed back and you can see a long way on them and you know where they go. Mm-hmm. They're really easy to take. And then in order to change your way of thinking, you have to beat new paths through the brush, and it's really laborious.
Right.
But it's possible.
Yeah.
And then the more often you use those new pathways, the clearer and the wider they become until they're just as accessible to you as the old pathways.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That makes sense to my own life for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, it's also like what neurologists have found.
Yeah, I bet.
But it does require effort, and it requires knowing what your old paths are and knowing what you want your new paths to look like.
Yeah. And
so trying to shift the way I think, and this has been like an ongoing process since I was in my early 20s. Like I've always been a depressed person.
Right. For like as long as you can remember?
Yeah.
Or like did that start happening like around like teenage years?
Teen years, but I don't really remember large parts of my life before I was a teenager.
Would your parents describe you as a happy child when you were little? No? They say, why is she always so cynical?
Serious. I was described as a serious child.
Now, how does that to your sister? Are you guys similar in personality as well, or are you guys very different?
My sister was we're similar now.
Okay.
So we've kind of taken like these circuitous routes to get to a pretty similar place. But she was an absolute wild child when she was younger. Okay. And like I would say she's a thinker now.
Okay. Who's older?
I am.
Okay.
But she was just kind of a hooligan.
Was past tense.
Yeah, she's not a hooligan anymore.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she was. She was the wild one.
Nice. So would you consider yourself also atheist? Like you said, there's nothing. So that means there is no God. There's
I
no
would actually
anything.
consider myself agnostic.
Okay. Which means you're open.
It just means
But you
that
haven't seen any proof.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff that we don't understand.
Right.
And like there are things that we know now that like we didn't even know that we didn't know because
Sure.
we didn't have like the capacity or the technology to think about things in
Well,
those
again,
terms.
back to the learning and the growing and all that stuff. Obviously, we're doing that as a culture and society and as humanity goes on, for sure. Do you think...
Yeah, so for me, like, I just don't know.
Okay.
But, like, I feel like... I feel like what most people get out of faith or what most people get out of religion is a sense of a moral code and a sense of comfort. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I have access to a moral code without a religion. And I've tried religion and didn't find it particularly comforting.
Right.
It's also like not something you can't just like force yourself to believe in something.
Yeah, I'm with you. Totally.
So,
yep. I mean, you can force yourself to believe it, but you don't really believe it.
but you don't, that's not believing though.
Right.
It's not that's so you
Right,
can't then.
right. Yeah. Well, let's leave religion completely out. Like, let's just throw all religion out the window. But when we just look at something like just life in general or the universe or our earth or those kind of things, what would be your explanation for how that came to be?
Oh, I don't have one.
Like at all? You haven't thought about that at all? Like you don't have any...
No, I've thought about it plenty.
Okay, you just can't come to a...
I just don't know that it matters to me.
Okay. Right.
Like, I'm here.
Sure. Sure.
I'm here. We're here.
Yeah.
The earth is here.
Right.
Or I'm at least perceiving myself to be here.
Could be the Matrix.
Right? Sitting
Yes.
across from you, talking to you
Yes.
on this earth. That's what
Right.
I'm perceiving.
Yeah.
And that's all that I know.
Okay. But what about the concept of like intelligent design? Have you heard of that belief? That
Yeah.
theory? Okay.
I don't subscribe to it.
Okay. So what would be your reasons for not subscribing to that? Because it doesn't need to be a god.
I don't have any proof for it.
Okay. So like when you look at anything on Earth or anything you see here or anything around you, you would have to say it had some intelligence behind the making of it, right?
I mean, I suppose so.
Like if I just said that microphone just appeared there one day, you think
obviously people made that microphone.
Right.
So I think I understand what you're asking, which maybe I didn't before.
Okay. It's intelligent design is just the idea that we're here by something intelligent. It doesn't have to be God. It can be anything.
So I do subscribe to the primordial soup.
Okay.
Which is essentially that all of this is a random happenstance, and I don't it doesn't really bother me. Like, for someone who wants to know everything about everything, I weirdly don't care.
Which is fascinating to me.
And I think it's because I know that I won't ever know the answer, and so I don't care.
How can you be sure?
Like, there's no answer at the bottom, so I'm not going to go digging for it.
How do you know, though? Until you find it, until you try to find it.
I mean, I did try to find it for a while.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was
but you were looking in religion.
This is exhausting.
Yeah, religion is exhausting.
Yeah.
I'm not a religious fan. I don't like religion at all.
Yeah.
I also don't think Jesus liked religion, but that's a separate topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Jesus is a religious figure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like being pinned down about it, I guess.
Right. But it is interesting, though, that you are so inquisitive about all other things.
Yeah.
And hypothetically, if there is some kind of intelligent creator or something, that's kind of pretty important to know, right? I mean, if it's true. If it's not true, who cares? But I would think. I mean, what else is more important? I mean, again, assuming it's true.
Right.
So this
But
hypothetical.
I'm not coming from that base assumption
I know.
that it's true.
I know.
I'm coming from the base assumption of
If you don't
a
know.
bunch of molecules at the right period, at the right moment,
Yeah.
stuck together, and somehow were able to develop a metabolic system.
Yeah. But see, listen though to that.
And then somehow became enervated.
The right time, the
Yeah.
right this, the right that. See, all that implies intelligence.
Or random chance.
Really though?
I personally
mean-
think that it implies intelligence is
Yeah.
a stretch. I don't think that.
But then I could say, like, that'd be like me
statement.
saying this microphone, some metal and some plastic and a cord and some inner wires all at the right place at the right time just happened to snap together in order to make this, right? Or if you take a book, take the first 10 pages of Catching Fire, and you say all these letters just happen to meet at the right exact time to form all these words, which are forming sentences, which are telling a story that is cohesive and makes sense and has a plot and all this stuff that all requires intelligence, right?
Yeah.
If I was just tell you, no, I just found that Hunger Games book on the floor over there and nobody made it. It's just be like, well, no, there's a message in it. There's like a thing, there's like a,
No, I understand what you're saying.
But then we look at DNA.
But you also are I'm going to take the first 10 pages of the Hunger Games.
Okay. Which you might have memorized.
I don't. But it's like 1,000 monkeys with a typewriter, right?
Right.
We're holding up this one packet of 10 pages.
Right.
And we're ignoring all of the other millions of packets of 10 pages that are absolute nonsense, which
Right.
also exist. Because this isn't a one of one. This is a one of 27
Right.
trillion. I'm just throwing a random
No, I
number
got
out
you.
there, right?
It's a probability
and
argument.
so when you go back and you think about the primordial soup, or maybe you don't think about the primordial soup, but
Right.
it's not just like, oh, there was one molecule and it happened to be able to metabolize. Like, no, there were nearly infinite molecules.
Right.
And this one of them.
Sure. But what I'm
So-
saying is kind of the opposite of that. So, like, let's take the monkeys with the typewriters. Let's say you give 1,000 monkeys typewriters, you let them type for 50 years, and eventually they type out the first 5 pages of Catching Fire. Okay? But see, that one manuscript is the anomaly, right? But to where when we look at everything else we see around us, the anomaly would be the thing that came together on its own, like random chance. That would
Yeah.
be the anomaly. Everything else we see has been designed. It's been created by intelligence. It's been invented and put into this table, this laptop, big train chai. Like all this was somebody thought, hey, I'm gonna design
isn't that
this.
also part of the anomaly? Like if this is
Well, but it's
all going
probability,
back
I
to
guess,
the
is what I'm
original
saying.
anomaly.
Yeah, I mean, because is it possible that monkeys could pen that Hunger Games over billions of years of writing on a typewriter? Sure, I would concede, yeah. Is it possible? Yes, but is it probable? And that's what I would ask. What's more probable is that intelligence could sit down and write the Hunger Games, right? Suzanne Collins could sit down and write that. That's more probable.
Sure.
So to me, it's a probability argument, not a possibility argument.
But we know that Suzanne Collins exists.
Correct.
And we don't know. We have no proof that I have found credible that a higher power,
Right.
a designer,
Right.
exists.
But what I would say...
So then to
yes,
me,
I see what you're saying.
the
yeah.
anomaly is more
Right,
probable.
right. But
Because I see anomalous things all the time.
Okay. But I guess my point is, if we found the Hunger Games, the book, and let's say Suzanne Collins had been dead for 300 years. We've never met her, never seen a picture of her. She was around before pictures or whatever, right? We would still come to the conclusion, at least that somebody claiming to be the name Suzanne Collins, maybe it was some guy named Roger Smith, but he put the pen name Suzanne Collins. That could be an argument. But what we do know, at least very probable, is that somebody wrote it. right? We don't need to see Suzanne Collins. And I would argue the same for you or for me or for humanity and look at people and
I would
complexities.
guess that somebody wrote it.
Right.
But I'm also living in a world where people write things all the time.
Sure. Right. Yeah, it's more of a known medium, right?
Yeah.
But I guess the argument for intelligent design would be more the complexities of, like, because I think you and I both agree that you and I are much more complex than a book.
Yeah.
Right? Like our psyches, the fact that every human being on the planet is unique, right? There's no two people that are exactly alike. All these different fingerprints, DNA, different personalities, and interests and emotions and psyche, like all this stuff, right? It's very complex. So for us to even put out the idea that that's random chance, to me seems very, not impossible, but not very probable.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it is
Yeah.
probable.
Okay. But you wouldn't say it's impossible either
No.
for that to be. That's why you're agnostic and not atheist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just I don't know what's possible and impossible, and to me, that genuinely seems more probable than the concept of intelligent design.
Okay. Okay.
To me.
Sure. You have a right to believe that. All right. So, one of the things I wanted to ask too is because you mentioned earlier Chronicles of Narnia. Obviously, you know that has very strong Christian themes in it. Do you kind of read it then without that? Like, do you take that part and think that's really cool, or do you just kind of forget that whole like?
I mean, it's an allegory,
Right.
And like from a socio-historical perspective, like I recognize that like allegories are a type of story that contain a moral lesson.
Sure. That one's very specifically biblical.
It's very, very clearly the crucifixion,
Right.
etc.
Yes. Although as a kid, I didn't realize that.
When I read it, I'm just like, oh yeah, this is the one book of the series where C.S. Lewis decides to do a parable of the crucifixion, which is a story that's in the Bible.
You don't think it historically happened? That's a sidebar, but...
Yeah, no. But it kind of like blows over me in the same way of where, like, if I'm reading something by an Indian author and they make a reference to something and I'm like, oh, this is a parable for this deity and this historical story that comes from the Upanishads.
Sure. Yeah.
I look at it from that perspective, not really any other one, I guess.
Because it's all fiction to you anyway.
It is all fiction to me, baby.
Right. But you think that the entire Bible is fiction?
I do.
Okay.
And to me, it's just like any other work of literature referencing another work of literature. It's intertextual, shall we say.
Do you think...
But yeah, I get into this with my boyfriend all the time.
Oh, really?
Because he's religious, and where he's like, but in the Bible it says, and I'm like, I get that you believe that this book is a certain thing,
right? But
you need to understand from my perspective, like, this isn't proof of anything because it's a work of fiction to me. And it's a hugely culturally important
Well, you would have
book.
To be proven, just like I was. You would have to have it. You would have to be convinced that it wasn't fiction. Because for me, most of my life, I grew up thinking that I was 24 when I became a Christian. I wasn't even like, I hated Christians before that. Hated them with a passion. You and your narrow-minded, one-way crap. Get out of my face. I used to argue with him all the time. Yeah. Where's your boyfriend? Is he Christian? Is he Catholic? What is he? Just spiritual?
He's complicated.
He's complicated. Okay, but he believes the Bible.
I don't know what he would label himself, so I don't want to speak for him.
Gotcha. But do you think like Jesus as a historical person existed?
Quite possibly.
Okay.
Or something similar.
Okay.
Like King Arthur.
Right.
I view those as
the same.
Analogous.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of historical proof for Jesus' existence. Maybe not that he was a religious figure or that he was God in the flesh or any of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm totally not saying that Jesus didn't exist.
Right. You just don't necessarily believe everything in Scripture that says that he did and taught.
I think that some of those things might be true.
Okay.
But I also think that some of them might not be true.
Yeah.
I also am very aware of the editing process of what we now call the Bible.
Mm-hmm. Did you go down that path?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Very Catholic.
Okay.
Culturally.
But it's funny
Culturally Catholic.
I also went down that path too, because I was
Yeah.
questioning a lot of things too.
Yeah.
But I came out on the other side of it.
And that's also not to say that, like, the Bible isn't worth reading,
Right.
or that there aren't good things in there, and that some of the things that the Bible tells us to do, I
Right.
agree with. Like,
But on a human level,
But on a human
like, this will
level,
make you a
not-
better person,
yeah,
more
like,
loving,
not-
more giving.
not because some guy in the sky said so.
Right.
But yeah, I view it just like I view any other religious text, which is to say, like, not necessarily exactly fiction, like it's not the Hunger Games, right? But I view it as a historical document
Yeah.
that is representative of the beliefs and social mores of a group
Yeah.
of people at a particular period in time.
Right. I can 100% prove to you that the Bible is not fiction. Do you know how?
How?
If you go to the library, it's
It's
in
in
the
the,
nonfiction
well, and this is why I said it's not exactly fiction, it's a historical text, right? So...
Boom! Mic drop. No. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let's end. We just got a couple more minutes.
Okay.
What's your favorite of the books in Narnia?
I really like the first one. I
Okay.
really like The Magician's Nephew.
Oh, so okay. So here you just opened up a whole new conversation.
Yeah, it's the first one.
It is not
It
the
is
first one.
the first one.
Neither is The Hobbit, the first of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. See, Lewis wrote it sixth for a reason. And people that read it first are missing an entire point of the thing, because it's really cool when you already know Narnia,
Yeah.
and then you're meeting the Magician's
And then
Nephew.
you're
Oh,
like,
that's how the lamppost got
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Oh, that's how this happened. You know?
I mean, I really like to actually bookend my readings of the Chronicles of Narnia with The Magician's Nephew. Like, you start with it and you finish with it.
Okay. But that's as someone who's already read them all multiple times.
And
So
I don't remember what order my dad read them to me in when I was a kid. So I don't know which way I first encountered it.
okay.
But, like, as an adult, I've always known. So I don't need to, like, read it first or read it last.
Right.
Because now all that lore just lives in my
Yeah.
head.
Yeah. My only argument would be, if you've never read any of them, I think you should start with Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah. Just because I think that's the way he designed it on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend that reading order to people. I think, I do also think that if you read the first book without having any knowledge of the series, you might be a little bit like, I don't know if I want to continue this series.
If you read which one first?
The Magician's Nephew.
Oh, okay. You might.
You might.
Yeah.
But man, he's just so funny. He writes children so well.
Right.
Right. And I think that comes, like, the characterization in The Magician's Nephew is just really great.
Yeah.
But I also love, I think it's the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which is where we first meet Eustace.
Yes.
And the first line of the book is, like, there was a boy named Eustace Pole, and he almost deserved it.
Yeah. Scrub.
Eustace Scrub.
Yeah.
And he
Jill
almost,
Pole was
yeah.
on, yeah.
Like his name is so bad.
Yeah.
It's just one of the best opening lines of any book I've ever read.
Yeah.
I really like it.
What did you think of the newer movies? Not the old BBC ones, but the newer ones. Did you see all those?
I don't think I saw all of them. I think I saw The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Okay. Did you like it?
I think I liked it okay. I think I liked the old BBC ones better.
Really?
I have to rewatch them. But it's also, like, that's what I grew up with.
Yeah. See, and that's a big part of it. People are used to that.
Can you really beat...
Yeah. People in beaver
full
suits.
size. That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, full-grown adults in beaver suits walking like penguins.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I think you can beat it, and I think they did when they did the new one. That's my argument
I think
there.
it also lands in, like, the weird early aughts CGI thing where, like, if you go back and watch it now, it's a little grainy and gritty and a little heavy-handed. thing to watch. It
Yeah.
really like takes me out of the moment, and I'd much rather just have like full-grown adults dressed as beavers.
Well, they got to that. They did the first
than
3.
cheesy digital Aslan.
Right. And it was pretty bad. I agree. Aslan was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But you got to the Voyage of Dawn Treader, and then they stopped making them after that, which is kind of a bummer because
Yeah.
I love the Silver Chair. That's one of
I
my
love the
favorites.
Silver Chair too, and I think the last book, like, they get really out there towards the end.
That one's dark. The last
And
battle's dark.
I would have liked to see what they like. I would have liked to see the visual representation of that.
Right. Have you ever read any of his nonfiction?
I've read like essays,
Okay.
or like excerpts, but I haven't sat down and read all of it. I did read his space trilogy.
Oh, nice.
Most
people haven't read that.
A while
Yeah,
ago.
there's some crazy stuff.
some crazy
That guy's
stuff in
imagination. He's creating creatures to me that aren't even really like a play on something we've already seen.
Right.
He's like inventing whole cloth
Like,
these creatures.
I remember reading it, and one of the things that I found really difficult about reading it was that like there were no reference points to something that I already knew, and so
Right.
it really made my imagination work, and I would have to like read paragraphs over and over again to
Right.
try and like form a picture of something in my mind
Yeah.
of what he was describing to
Isn't that
me.
crazy?
But yeah, such an alien world.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah. But did you know that you probably knew that he was a staunch atheist for a big part of his life, and then he became a Christian.
Yeah.
And some of his books in fact, most Christians would even say C.S. Lewis was the best Christian thinker of all time.
Yeah.
The guy that you read like Mere Christianity.
Yeah.
Such an amazing, and that's got a lot of like evidences and proof in there. I mean, I hate to use the word proof. I don't think there's any proof, but again, when talking about probabilities, I think he paints a very compelling argument.
He makes some sound arguments.
Exactly. That are very convincing in a lot of those ways. But
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks.
Of course.
That was fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that was good
It was
times.
a nice conversation.
It sure was.
Thank you so much for checking out another episode of this podcast. I would really appreciate feedback, so send me an email at whycan'twetalkaboutthat@proton.me. Please don't forget to tell everyone that you know that this show exists. I'd really appreciate that as well. Thank you.